pew, pew.
There we go. Yeah, we let that one run out for a long time before we joined.
We did.
There.
I was Snapchatting.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I saw that. I took a deep breath and almost passed out because I was waiting for it to start.
But I was Snapchatting for the podcast.
Yeah.
If that makes you feel any better. And I was Snapchatting all three of us.
Chatting or snap potting?
Snap potting.
There we go.
That's what it is.
I like that.
That's what we're gonna actually. That's a new thing we're working on. Never been done before, and Passive Gravy is obviously going to be at the forefront of it, just like we are at the forefront of everything else that's ever done. Usually, it's called the Snap Pod. And
Pass the Snappy.
Pass the Snappy, and basically what it is a series of podcasts that are just all like it's a Snap is a podcast. Like, that's it. I don't know. I guess Snap is like 12 seconds.
10, but
10?
I think you can send 4 or 5 in a row without it cutting off.
So basically, it's like that. Like we're gonna have like the 4 snap thing. So it's 40-second podcasts, and it's just us and our thoughts on a topic. So Robert, you have I have a stopwatch right here. So Robert, we're gonna play a new game. This is called We're gonna try out the Snap Pod real fast. Let me pull up my stopwatch, and Robert, I want you to give us a topic, and we're gonna give you 40 seconds on it. Ready? Tell us a topic.
Baseball.
All right, ready, go. So that All-Star game last night, man. That was
fantastic.
That was pretty crazy. Yeah, Alex Bregman, George Springer with a back-to-back.
Shoving it right up LA's ass again. Had to remind them. They were getting a little cocky.
That was pretty great, dude. That was pretty great there. And you know what? Like, I thought that all around, the AL looked like they were in control most of it. Yeah, I know the NL kind of came back there at the end. They made it even. Yeah, they sent it to extras. But I thought the AL, they had their head the whole time right there. What was his face? Morton got banged around a little bit. But you know what? The team bounced back, and Alex Bregman picked up the slack for his teammate.
LA was feeling good that they, broke their getting Machado, and we just said, fuck you, don't forget about us.
And that was a 40-second podcast.
I like that.
So basically, that's where the Snap Pods.
Yeah, check it out. By the way, I need to add us on Snapchat because I don't have us.
TM, we just invented that. We don't have a Snapchat either. So.
That's just on yours.
I don't know. I made up that whole idea right when we were.
I like it though.
Yeah, that's why I just trademarked it so nobody else can say it. It's a verbal trademark, which is legally binding.
Yeah.
You guys are all our lawyers because the attorney-client privilege. So any of you guys that go and use it, or anybody listening that reuses this idea, that's illegal. You can't steal my ideas because I've just shared it with you. I've just shared it with you like exclusively.
I'm gonna upload 4 10-second clips of that. I'm gonna separate it.
Do it, and then just be like, there we go. That's our 40-second Snap Pod.
Are you gonna do it out of order too, just to confuse people?
Ooh, so because like maybe you just saw the first one and then we didn't finish the other 3, so you just came back. What is that? What are they even talking about? That would be really fun. We need to do that before like each podcast. Like we'll just do like to warm up. We'll just have Robert throw us 3 topics and we'll just riff on those 3 topics for 40 seconds. That's pretty easy. But then, like, to make up, we're gonna have to do 2 hours worth of that. But we're gonna do a whole podcast like that. But it's just gonna take forever, and I'm gonna need you to edit the video, which is gonna be really fun, I'm sure.
and make it easier for people to skip through, because you come across snaps, and you're like, I don't fucking care.
Don't care.
Yeah, they can just skip through the pod quicker like that.
It's like the Instagram stories now, where it's the ask a question. And speaking of, like, while we're at this, like, I'm on this because I'm part of the. I'm part of the problem for sure in this, but here we go. Why don't we just get into where you've been?
Where you been? Where you been? Where you been? Where you been? Where you been? Where you been? Where you been? Where you been? Where you gone? Where you gone? Since you been? Where you been? Where you been? Where you been?
All right. So the Instagram like stories just added the ask me a question thing basically, which is like I can like ask me a question. So I found out about it. I was like, I'll try it. Let me just see how it goes. And I was like, ask me a question. And then, like, I've realized with Instagram stories, and Robert, are you the same way with this? Because since Pat doesn't have an Instagram, where like you look at somebody's story if they got like a couple of lines on it at the top, the little yellow like white lines. It's like how long. It's kind of like a Snap story where you're like, oh, this is a lot more left. Where like if somebody just has dot 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 dot, I'm moving on to the next guy.
Yeah.
And that is what I turned into, and I hated it. But like people kept sending questions, and I feel like I should answer. Because is that a habit I have? Is that just a thing that this podcast has gotten me into now?
You're a man of the people.
I go down that rabbit hole where it's just like I told everyone I would answer questions, and that's what I mean. I'm here to answer any question, no matter what it may be.
You should have asked.
I was responding to them all
and answered none of them.
You know what? This game's stupid.
Ask me questions. I never said I'd answer them. I just told you to ask me.
just make fun of their questions? No, but that'd be go against everything I preach for.
Yeah, your strength has turned into your weakness.
Right? I can't do that. I can't be doing that. And so I answered a bunch of questions, but that was what I did. And then I realized that, oh, this feature just came out, so everybody else is also fucking doing this. And everybody's Instagram story was like that. And I saw some meme. It was just like, everybody's Instagram stories today. Ask me a question, ask me a question, ask me a question, ask me a question. Food, ask me a question, ask me a question, ask me a question.
Ass.
And then ask for mine as well. But yeah, so that was one of the things I did. And I would just like to apologize to everybody if I was obnoxious on your Instagram stories. I'm sorry. I got caught up in the hype. And that once again, that's why I can't play Fortnite. It happened for a second. I spent like a whole day doing it.
Play so much Fortnite tonight.
Did you see all the All-Star game yesterday? That was where they were talking about.
Working, man.
Oh yeah, well they were talking about like, oh, my favorite Fortnite celebration is this.
Yeah.
And apparently everybody plays Fortnite except for me and Robert. Robert, thanks for staying on the train with me, buddy.
No problem.
I have to miss the home run derby and the All-Star game every year because I work Monday, Tuesday nights.
It sucks.
Like I caught the end of the home run derby though because I pulled it up on my phone because we were starting to slow down, and I can kind of just do that because I'm the manager.
Yeah, that works.
So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch Bryce Harper fucking go off and save the home run derby.
And boy did he. Boy did he.
Boy howdy.
Oh boy did he. So yeah, let's just go. I was watching the All-Star game last night. That's another where I've been. And that was pretty awesome. If you listened to our Snap Pod earlier, you would know exactly like my thoughts on the All-Star game as well as Pat's. But it was pretty cool watching the AL just kind of dominate. Aaron Judge got it all kicked off with that homer. So that was good to see Judge in prime form and knowing his swing's not going to be messed up because he didn't do the home run derby.
No, his swing's going to be messed up because he can't hit a high fastball.
Well, he's been hitting all right this year. Not on
the high heat.
Well, as long as he hits whatever else he hits, I'm cool with it. So we're good to go. It looks like Manny Machado might have gotten moved. Machado. Excuse me. How dare I? Pat says he's seen like for sure.
No, I looked it up. It was. I thought
it's
I was
like everything is
like
high,
but it's happening.
It's like they haven't put pen to ink yet, but like it looks like it. But it's like you go to Adam Schefter or Woj for basketball.
I believe it was Ken Rosenthal.
Rosenthal, you're right.
Like if he didn't sign with them now, it would be like when Stone Cold fucking shook Vince McMahon's hand. Like it just last second threw everybody off.
Remember Cliff Lee to the Yankees that year, where it was like, "There's no way in hell Cliff Lee is not going to the Yankees," and there's like he's going to the Rangers. And I was like, "Good." I would have been okay with Cliff Lee, but I thought he was way more. And then he was asking. Then they were asking for it. And I was really glad the Yankees didn't give up their whole farm system, which is kind of now their team.
Yeah,
because I think Judge could have been a part of that package had they got.
I mean, I think at that point they didn't have much farm system left though. That was right around the time where they had already dumped everybody, and
well, not Judge. Who the fuck? Gregorius would have been part of it because Gregorius was in there. Yeah. Eduardo Nunez would have been in there, even though Nunez doesn't still play for him. But I remember when those guys were all coming up. I remember thinking Eduardo Nunez was the next Jeter. Fuck that. That was dumb. I think he plays on the Twins now. Or no, he was on the Sox, wasn't he?
Nunez.
Wasn't he last year at least?
I don't fucking remember.
Anyways, that's me just running my mind through baseball because now I'm fully getting into baseball season. Like you have all the other sports going on, and it's about the All-Star break where I start sinking my teeth into baseball. I'm throwing on the Monday night or the Tuesday night baseball, the Sunday night baseball. I got it all on. I got the MLB package I have had, and I start watching all the games more. I get the updates on my phone, but it's just not the same. And now I'm going out of my way to watch baseball to get back into it because it's really one of the only sports going on. But soccer's starting back up soon. I guess they don't ever have an off season, so I've been paying it. West Ham, I don't want to brag, but they look like they're making some moves in the off season. If I don't say so, as a West Ham podcast, we gotta cover them at least once a show, right?
Of course.
So been keeping up with all of that. What else have I been up to? I've been pretty busy. Oh, I went to South Carolina.
Yeah, I was about to say you can't miss the first thing on the list.
Went out of town. Well, by the way, guys,
I traveled to a different part of the country. Almost forgot about that.
Went to Charleston, South Carolina. I did not dance to Charleston. Did not do that. Did not see any Gamecocks.
Okay. I'm sure you did because apparently you ran into 47 Bachelorette parties.
There were a lot of bachelorette parties, man.
So I'm sure a lot of
And
them were Gamecocks.
Now-
or Game for the Cock.
Now, let me be fair to. I feel like I don't want to come across as sexist saying like it's just bachelorette parties. I mean, I'm sure that bachelor parties might go there.
Nope.
But just bachelor parties typically don't walk around with like fluffy shit on them all the time. And like, you know how bachelorette parties are like every girl, like the girl that's getting married is going to have white on and we're all going to wear lime green or she's going to have this fuzzy crown
I
on.
thought that was just weddings.
Oh, no.
I thought it was just like basically
bachelorette parties.
sash and then.
It was like in New Orleans, like they walk around like penis hats. I didn't see any penis hats, so we had some
because
classy
New Orleans
ladies.
is dirty.
Right, I
Charleston,
get
South
it.
Carolina.
It's very classy.
They're classy up there.
Very classy.
I don't know what accent I was
I
doing.
don't know. That works. Let's go to it's more of a Savannah accent.
There you
It kinda
go.
sound like molasses.
That's what we
just
need. Need to go
spilling
down
out
a
your
little
mouth.
bit. Little foghorn leghorn in there.
Which it's pretty close to Savannah, and so every time you'd move around in Charleston, you'd see like signs for how far Savannah was, and I just kept thinking, "There's been a murder in Savannah," and that was all. That was all I was thinking of, and like nobody else was like my mom was like, "I don't get that at all." I went with my dad. I went with my whole family, and then like my main family, like my mom, dad, my brother. I went with Emma, and then her sister came along too, so that was cool.
What made you all decide to go to South Carolina? Like, it's a random
Well,
ass
we
spot.
went to. My dad had on his bucket list a place called Middleton Place because
okay,
our
yeah.
ancestors, like Arthur Middleton, signed the Declaration of Independence. I want you to go check it out. It's either.
in South Carolina.
I mean, I didn't. I
How much do you know about your family?
learned a lot.
And,
I learned a lot, and I was not proud of all of it.
I was about to say.
I was not proud of all of it. But just let me preface by saying I don't agree with that. They didn't know any better at that time. I'm not saying it makes it right. I'm not saying it excuses it. It's just they did it. That was what was happening at the time. Doesn't
I would
justify
like to
it.
point out
I
that
feel awful about it. I personally feel awful about it. And in my
0%.
lifetime, if that was ever offered, I would say no. I don't want to do that.
0% of my family ever owned.
Hey, you know what? I wish I could say the same thing.
Because they were not in America then.
Well, okay, good on them. I wish I could say the same thing, but you know what? It's not true, and I can't. It's not. I can't act like it's my fault. I can only apologize and say I wish that it didn't happen. And I will tell you that on the like slave tour part, you had to like learn about all of it. It was some fucked up shit. It's some fucked up shit that
Did
these
they call
guys
it
had to do.
Candyland?
No, they didn't. They did not call it that. But they had they had the quarters that you had to read. I read every. I didn't read all of like the little like. Or the little like boards that had all the info about everything on every exhibit, and that one I was like, I'm gonna read it and learn all about all of this. I'm gonna educate myself, and I'm not gonna be
Gonna
the
stack
ignorant
up that white
motherfucker
guilt.
I did. I had a lot of white guilt. I will definitely say I had a lot of white guilt, and I'm sorry. So
What? You didn't do
for
anything.
the Middletons now in 2018, we are very against that, and we apologize. So that was, but it was it's one like the world's oldest like managed gardens in the United States. I didn't know that, but it's pretty awesome. It's right on the Ashley River in South Carolina, and like they have all this awesome land, and it was like anywhere you like took a turn, you could just walk for miles. It felt like I think it was like 6,000 acres.
Why would you walk for
or
miles?
whatever.
That sounds.
I mean,
miserable.
I didn't actually walk for miles,
It's
but it was
hot
just
outside.
cool. Like we went on a tour of like this old family house, and like you like saw like where Arthur Middleton, who signed the fucking Declaration of Independence, and I didn't finish getting to brag before you guilted me, but Arthur Middleton, I would say, has the second biggest signature on the Declaration of Independence, if not the third. But like
Is
at
that
least
only because
second
his
or
last
third.
name is long?
Well, no, because I saw a copy of the Declaration of Independence while we were there. Because if you signed it, you got a silk copy of it that was framed. Did you know that? Fun little fact for you
Did
guys.
not know that.
And Arthur Middleton had, so he had received one. I got to go check that out. That was pretty dope. And it was just like all of these. Like there were people that like tour that place. Like it's cool that people tour that place.
He's got his own Wikipedia page.
He does. He's a founding father, man. Founding father. I'm a blue blood of this country.
The family resemblance is striking.
Let me see it.
No, it looks nothing like you.
Oh no, that guy. Yeah, no, he looks very French, doesn't he?
He does.
We'll get to the French in just a little bit. But there's Arthur Middleton. There was Williams Middleton. My brother is William Middleton. That's pretty cool though. And you get it was just cool to kind of like see like, oh wow, like I'm somehow related to this person, and they had like all of this influence on all of this shit, and like you really learned about like in the Revolutionary War that like when they decided to cut off all their shit from England, that the Middleton Place people, their biggest thing was called Carolina gold rice. That was their biggest crop that they had, and they basically sold it to the British Navy. And so when they were like, hey, we're signing this Declaration of Independence, when he signed the Declaration, he was saying, my income is fucked. I don't fucking care. I'll figure it out. And it was like, no, that's
go
a lot.
time.
Like when you think about that, it's like, yeah, all these people just wanted to fight and they wanted all this shit, but it's like they had to give up a lot of shit to go back and like cause this revolution.
In case anybody wants to see it on the
interesting.
Declaration of Independence, look where Hancock is. One column to the left, straight on the bottom.
That first little column right there, because we were in the first column.
Actually, I mean, he does have a decently big size signature there.
Pretty large signature. There was only one other that I was like around that size, but I would have given
Excellent penmanship.
way better than mine.
Pretty good.
But it's like
Now, other ones stand out more because a lot of people used more ink and it was a little darker.
But Arthur wasn't about that. Arthur was just like, hey, I'm gonna let you see it. Size does matter here, boys. Size does matter, not girth necessarily, right?
I guess.
His, I guess no, his width too was a little bit. I don't know. Who knows? We're about penmanship.
He was about length.
It was about length. There we go. So I got to go. It was called Middleton Place. That was tight. And then just downtown Charleston's a really cool little town. And
Did you have a Charleston chew?
I did not. Emma actually mentioned that on the flight back. And then speaking of the flight back, we'll get into that. That's in a not cool column. And no, there weren't delays because delayed flights have been a not cool of mine before. Everything went according to plan minus one thing on one of the flights. But that was South Carolina. That was pretty cool. And then I've watched Sacha Baron Cohen. He's pretty much, he does the same thing where he just impersonates people a lot of times. I know he was in Talladega Nights, Jean Girard. And he's got a new show on Showtime. It's called Who is America? And he basically impersonates people and then gets interviews with like high-ranking people, or just kind of like, he does that awkward thing that if you like The Office, where it's like a lot of like Michael Scott moments is almost the whole show. And in the premiere, I watched that because everybody was saying like it's cringeworthy. A lot of people, they didn't think we were going to like it, but I laughed my ass off. Like, I'm kind of in the middle of the political spectrum, and he's making like Republican
Who was on this
lawmakers.
one? Was it Cheney? Was it...
No, it was just Bernie Sanders was like the first guy on it, and Bernie Sanders was so confused where he was talking about like gun rights and everything, and he was trying to twist Bernie's words, and Bernie, I don't know what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. And then he went to like this Republican. Yeah, I know. I've watched it. I had to rewatch it because it was so fucking funny, and I was like laughing over the words. And then he went to this like Republican congressman in North Carolina's house, and like he was really like against abortion and all of that, and he was talking about like gender fluidity. Like he was like the really like liberal guy trying to like persuade him. He's like, well, I don't accept gender stereotypes in my house. I make my daughters. My daughter has to, or my son has to sit down to pee, so we don't associate gender stereotypes. And he's like, well, why do you do that? He's like, well, I make my daughter stand. And it's just like everything he says is like more and more fucked up, and like it's really weird. He just takes them to like really weird places, and then at the end of it, he gets all of these Republican lawmakers to like he's joking about like, well, it's not rape if it's your wife, right? And he like shakes the guy's hand, and the guy's like, this isn't gonna be on the show, right? He's like, oh, no, yeah, it definitely is on the show. And he like at the end of it, it's called Kindergartens, and he's talking about how like children as young as 3, if they're trained, should be able to handle a firearm. And it's like, no, we can't. But they're like, well, I mean, that's how you stop school shootings. I'm telling you, if you had kindergartners armed, it's like, we can't ever. There's no way you can ever spin that and make it seem like that's okay, guys. And they've had like, it was a program that Sacha Baron Cohen had made up called Kindergartens. And like they had like the end of the show is just like a 2-minute promo / PSA about why they should have this, and it was all like actual legit American lawmakers fucking saying this. And that's like, we need term limits. These old senile fucks that just like, yeah, that's funny. And it's like, that's why we need to be more progressive as society gets more progressive. And that's why like I'm all for that shit. What the fucking term limits? John McCain should not still be in the Senate. John McCain shouldn't have been in the Senate 5 years ago. John McCain, like, you know, it's just people. You
Nancy Pelosi, she should probably just be dead.
And it sounds bad to say like you don't become your morals, your thoughts, and all that stuff don't necessarily become irrelevant, but it's just like society kind of becomes more progressive as it goes. So if you're an 80-year-old, you're never going to be able to relate to what a 30-year-old is able to do. And it's just like
Plus, then it's never about doing the good, it's never about doing what should be done in office at that point. At that point, it's just about, well, you got to toe the line to stay in office so that you don't piss off your donors so that you can win the next election.
And that's not what it should be about.
No, you're in there to fucking do a job. Do a job. Don't fucking tiptoe around shit.
But
it's so frustrating.
It shows you like what these fucked up politicians will still just say just to like relate to anybody. So like spin to like me.
Greatest example of that ever was Hillary Clinton. Yeah, I carry hot sauce around in my purse.
Yeah, right.
No, you fucking don't.
So and I watched the All-Star game, and then I watched the World Cup final on Sunday. My flight left after it, so I got to check that out. And France won, and so we will be doing a Mount Rushmore of French things later on in the podcast. And Pat, where have you been, buddy? Sorry, I took up a lot of time.
Nah, basic weekend for me. Fredericksburg, went up there, cut some cedar, did shit like that. Finally watched Big Brother.
Oh, nice.
I'm into it now. It's go time.
So you got like favorites and least favorites?
Yeah, immediately, 5 minutes into watching the show, I was like, all right, fucking like them, hate that bitch, hate that guy. Like,
good.
Just already just.
That's when you know. That's when you're catching big bro fever.
Binged a lot of Sherlock on Netflix.
Shit. Good, great Scott Watson. I don't know Sherlock.
That was more Star Trek than
Elementary. Watson.
Not that one though. Like Benedict Cumberbatch. Sherlock.
Ooh, okay.
The actual BBC one. Really great. I keep the subtitles on though. Sometimes, they get a little Britishy. Gotta tell what the fuck they're saying.
Is this a foreign language or this is English?
Yeah. And just pretty basic weekend for me.
Yeah.
Little video games, little Netflix.
Leaving out one thing of South Carolina, not to cut you off.
No, I was done.
Went on a ghost carriage tour. Ooh. So that I thought was definitely notable. I wrote that down. I didn't read it when I was going over it. But so we went on a horse carriage, and this guy took us around like downtown Charleston and just told us ghost stories, which were kind of bullshit, I thought. But we learned some fun facts. Like, did you know dead ringer is because when people used to die, like if somebody was in a coma sometimes, like they would because they would used to share grave plots, and like they would have to dig people up and then throw people in a thing, and they'd be like, why are there fingernail scratches? And it was because people that were like in a coma or just like sedated and hadn't come out of it, if they had been buried alive, they were freaking out. So then people started tying like strings to you, and they would put it on a bell up at the top. And if you like woke up and started freaking out, then it would ring. And they always had somebody that was on the graveyard that was around there, and that's what you get.
Jesus Christ!
But like overnight, people would stay, and that was called the graveyard shift. That's where graveyard shift comes from. But then also, that's where you get the term dead ringer.
Man, we were fucking stupid back.
That's what a dead ringer was. Well, it didn't happen all the time, but like occasionally it would happen. And also,
you'd think you could just check for the fucking heartbeat.
That's true.
Before you bury people.
Not all people do that. It was a different time. It was a different time, like we discussed earlier. But also, do you know what the difference between a cemetery and a graveyard is?
No.
A cemetery is not connected to a church. A graveyard is connected to a church. So a church doesn't have a yard; it has a graveyard. Just remember it that way. Learned about that, and just all like there was some random I saw where the Abraham Lincoln, when they had he was a Republican, right?
Yes.
When they had the Republican National Convention, when Abraham Lincoln was there, it was in Charleston, and they were they loved their booze in Charleston, and they drank a lot. But then they started fighting because everybody got angry when they drank, and they didn't want Abraham Lincoln to be president, and because they couldn't come to a conclusion of who else should be their representative, Abraham Lincoln got the nomination for the Republican Party because everybody was too drunk and angry and fighting in Charleston, South Carolina during that convention. It's like if you did that now, Twitter would be going crazy. Nuts. But I don't believe that it doesn't happen. Probably they just do it in hotels with closed doors.
Yeah.
But so that was just a fun little fact that I got to go on a ghost tour. And I mean, I don't believe in ghosts, but it's cool to hear stories.
Learn
It's cool to hear stories. Cool facts. There we go. So all right, Robert, where have you been, buddy?
So I've been watching the All-Star game too, as well, which I think is the best All-Star game in sports.
I would agree. I would agree.
It was really fun this year.
Are we gonna power rank them?
No,
I don't think it's even necessary.
And I also saw Ant-Man this past Sunday.
What'd you think?
Solid 4.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. I noticed you left out the female role on the show.
Sexist.
I guess that's wrong of me. I apologize.
You're right. Thank you.
I'll be sending you a prepared statement later.
Yeah, we'll have a press conference. Facebook Live.
Solid 4.
Snap conference.
A snap conference. Excuse me. It better be in 40 seconds or less.
That's pretty much all I did. Just watched I caught up on the last 2 episodes of Big Brother 2.
Dude, so sorry, bud.
I'm out.
He's out.
I'm out.
Robert's out of the Big Brother pool. We'll do the Big Brother quick update real fast, just because Yeah, Robert's out of the Big Brother pool because Swaggy C got evicted.
You're fucking out.
Unfortunate. Swaggy C, you later, got evicted. I called that was going to be the intro. In the intro, the previously on Big Brother. I called that, and it was. So
last year I was a top 3.
Yeah, you were, weren't you?
And Christmas.
Yeah, the Cowboys were good in the early '90s, but that doesn't mean shit.
Well,
now,
last year, his girl also like broke her foot in like
Yeah.
the second week and like made it all the way to the end because nobody was like they were. She's not going to beat us in a competition.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a foot, and but she did win like one of the running competitions.
fake an injury to stay in Big Brother.
Ooh, that might be. We were talking about strategies, and Pat thinks he's got a couple, but we'll get into that. Maybe you can come on a episode of Pass the Gravy, Bro.
I might have to do that.
Pass the Gravy Bro at Pass the Gravy Bro on the Twitter. Check that out. Emma and I do episodes every Wednesday and Thursday, and most Sundays we do episodes. So check it out. We just recap the episode, talk about our thoughts, and I think we're gonna maybe start doing random bonus live feed episodes where we just talk about what's going on that. Enrique Ramon was hitting me up on Twitter saying he thought we should do that going forward. And when some big stuff happens, we might have to just hop on the mic and break down some shit. But just a quick recap of Big Bro. Swaggy C got evicted on Thursday, so Robert is out of the PTG Big Brother pool, along with Daniel Tumchesson, who went out with Steve last week. Scotty won HOH. He nominated Brett and Winston. So Scotty also won the veto and didn't use it. That means either Brett or Winston are going home on Thursday unless Sam uses her power. And Matt Metcalf has Winston, I believe, and Annie King Cantu has Brett. So one of you guys are on the hot seat right now, sweating it out. But if you want to hear more, check out Pass the Gravy Bro. That'll be on after the Wednesday episode that we're recording on Wednesday, so that'll be out tonight. I do the 2 podcast day. That's just what I do. I'm a hard worker. And go check it out, Pass the Gravy Bro on the Twitter. Let's get into, or let me tell you guys quickly about, what are we doing, MeUndies first? I'll tell you guys about MeUndies. And
Why not?
Right? Why the heck not? And then we'll go into Comeback Kid. MeUndies is the best underwear in the fucking world, guys. You hear us talk about it all the time. It's the fun, comfy undies. Feel just as good as they look. You can get incredible underwear sent right to your door with MeUndies. That means no more hunting around for the perfect pair at a crowded store and eventually settling for just good enough. MeUndies is so sure that you're going to love your first pair that if you're not happy, they're going to do whatever they can to get you in the right pair. And if they can't, keep them, and they're going to refund you for your first pair. So it's really risk-free to try the best underwear ever. If you're already part of the MeUndies family, tell your friends about it through the referral program. They're going to get a discount, and you're going to get store credit. It's a win-win. Still not sure? MeUndies has a deal for our listeners. First-time purchasers get 20% off their first pair of MeUndies and free shipping. That's 20% off, free shipping, and a guarantee that you and your MeUndies are going to be very happy together. Get your butt over to MeUndies and treat yourself to get your 20% off your first pair. Free shipping and a satisfaction guarantee. Go to MeUndies.com/podcast. That's MeUndies.com/podcast. All right. MeUndies. MeUndies. Let's get into Comeback Kid.
It's the Comeback Kid. The Comeback Kid of the week. The Comeback Kid of the week. Bitch.
Ba-da-ba-da-bum-bum. All right, we got quite a few, it looks like, today. Conor McGregor is a comeback kid.
Good to see him back.
Good to see him back. Did you, this one isn't even on the list, but did you see him petting a tiger yesterday?
I did not see
He was
that.
petting like a white tiger. He was saying he wanted to wrestle one, and I bet he could fucking fuck up a tiger.
He wanted to kill it so that he could
to.
drink its tiger blood.
I wouldn't put it past him. He's got a tiger tattoo on him. No, he has a gorilla tattoo. You're right. So I don't know. I would probably take Tiger over Conor just because of the claws. But if you outlaw the claws, I still might think that Conor could lay that knockout punch to it.
Oh yeah.
Claws and teeth have to be outlawed for Conor to really have a shot because I think the tiger might fuck it up.
He might just hit it over the head with one
It's
of his
true.
bottles of Conor McGregor
maybe
Irish
they're
whiskey.
just like alphas, so they both just recognize each other, and then they're just pals.
Yeah.
They hang.
They'd cuddle.
It's like Mike
It'd
Tyson
be like
when he
his
had tigers.
big like pet
Yeah,
buddy.
it's just like a cat.
Yeah.
It's like on Walking Dead.
Curl up
like
in his
cat,
lap.
Yeah, right. So Conor McGregor was Putin's guest of honor at the World Cup final. It was his 30th birthday over the weekend as well, and he celebrated on a big-ass yacht. And he announced, congrats on the sex to Conor. He and his wife are pregos again. Mm-hmm. So, big week for Conor McGregor. Well, but like that's what
people say, but it's stupid.
2018, Pat. So now we gotta be like, they're pregnant. I agree.
He came and fell asleep. He didn't exactly do a shit ton of work on that one.
He didn't wear a condom, and he finished.
Yeah.
So congrats on the sex. And she is pregnant. D. Devlin is pregnant. Or D. McGregor, I guess now is pregnant. But yeah, so good for Conor McGregor. It's always good to see him back in the spotlight. Just fucking please fight in the octagon again. Come on, buddy.
Oh yeah, come on.
Fight Khabib. Fight Khabib. You can do it.
Throw $1 million at that fucking legal problem.
12th richest person, or 12th most grossing entertainer in the last year.
Yeah, throw some money at it. Get rid of it, Dana. Fucking get him a fight.
Yeah. So Conor McGregor is back, but we said he was Putin's guest of honor for the World Cup final in Russia. Vladimir Putin, also a comeback kid this week. He was at the World Cup final, and he also just met Donald Trump this week. So the Don, I guess that kind of makes him back too. He's a comeback kid as well. But Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump met and hung out and shit, and then pissed everybody off. I don't know. I see people get mad on, I'm at the point where I don't watch the news, but I just like to look at Twitter, and I'm like, people are pissed. What did he say?
Yeah.
And he said something about he trusts Putin. And
he said
he doesn't trust other stuff.
What he said, something along the lines of, he goes, I don't see why they would be the ones responsible for the hacking. So basically it was like, oh my God, he's siding with what they're telling him over our own intelligence agencies. So then the next day he came out and was like, I fucked up talking. I meant to say, I can't see why they wouldn't be the ones. And it was like, okay, we really believe that. I'm like, what? Which way do you want? I totally get, I wouldn't be surprised if he was lying and was just like, I fucked up. I need to correct this. But when has he ever apologized for anything he's ever said? When has he ever backtracked on anything he's ever said?
Not often.
So that's why I kind of feel like, he probably did just fuck up talking because it's Trump. He doesn't pay attention when he's talking.
Did you actually listen to the press conference or at all? If you hear
what he says, watch the news.
If you hear what he says, before and after that, he's saying the same thing over and over again. Yeah, so he's not misspeaking.
But you can't expect me to know what I'm talking about. Come on. We don't do that here, Robert. But that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if he was full of shit, but I also wouldn't be surprised because he doesn't ever apologize for himself. Right. He doesn't backtrack.
Hot potato. Who thinks that Trump had Russian help in the election? Robert?
Russian help in the election. I don't think there was collusion exactly between Russian and him. Yeah. I think maybe there was interference in the election.
But there was definitely interference.
Yeah. I don't think it was.
But also,
Donald Trump
you fucked it up. I was supposed to wait for Robert to give his opinion, and that's all we have. And then Robert was going to be the political guy.
Damn.
Robert was going to be the outspoken guy.
I'm like Chris. I can't help but jump over this shit.
I was just saying. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's just everyone who wants to say, they colluded. You know what? You also ran the worst presidential candidate of all time with Hillary Clinton. So be mad at yourself.
Facebook says Democrats. I'm a super conservative.
Ooh, that's a good point.
It's funny because I don't even get super conservative.
I'm moderate.
And I post Ben Shapiro all fucking day.
Oh, by the way.
But also lots of weed shit.
Update, Beto texts are back. I got a couple more this weekend. Not a fan.
Did you tell him to go fuck himself?
I just quit responding, but God damn it, guys.
Block the number.
Beto O'Rourke is just continuously harassing me.
Can't you text
block the number.
Stop or something?
I think we need to take it to the tweets. Take it to the tweets and say, hey, Beto, please quit harassing me. And that might get some headlines.
Unwanted
Beto harasses
local radio
podcasts.
Personality.
Beto harasses podcast host. Because he's harassing me and I'm harassing you guys about it, so we're all harassed now.
I think you'd get more attention if you put local radio personality / podcast host.
Yeah, but I want us to get the press.
No, that's what I'm saying. Well,
because Passive Baby put them both on there. Trends, the headline talk.
I get it. I'm just saying you get them both on there. You grab the headlines with radio, you keep them there for the podcast.
And no, we got to go at him on Twitter, and we got to get enough of a storm going, so we're he's got to be come out against it, and we'll be like, hey, bro, you should come on the podcast and discuss it. And then we got Beto O'Rourke on the podcast, and then we have 1 million listens because everybody listens thinking we're a left-leaning podcast. Then we're probably all in a lot of trouble.
But then
they realize
they get surprised because it's
and they hate half the words we've said.
But we would also have to teleconference in Chris for that one because that would just be funny.
No, Chris would ruin it.
Well, I mean, I'd ruin it too. But it'd just be great to see how long it would take Chris to go, yeah, you're a fucking idiot, right? I feel like I could hold back longer than Chris.
I think you would too.
But Chris, I don't think Chris would make it more than 2 minutes.
Chris just wouldn't talk, and then he'd just storm off after he said something really inflammatory.
We would just have to ask him, how many genders are there?
What was the tweet that I saw regarding genders the other day that made me LOL? If gender does not exist, how does the wage gender gap exist? Asking the hard hitting questions here. I didn't ask that. A woman asked that.
But the problem is now we have to figure out
that
the gender gap. See, women make less than men, but how many cents less do fucking backwards unicorns make than women, or whatever all the genders are?
That was actually from @Anna_Cat_Clark, a female. That's 3 female names right there that she has, and so that's definitely not me. And what was your next?
Clark is a male's name. Yeah.
Oh, so you're assuming it's a gender specific name?
Yes, I am. How many women do you know named Clark?
Lois Clark. Boom.
That's a last name. That's a last
part
name.
of a lady's name.
How many women do you know with first names Clark?
Somebody named after Mel Clark.
Nope.
You know.
Clark is only a first name for men.
It's not.
And
I bet you there's a
daughters of parents that hate their daughter.
Well, who am I to pass judgment?
Like my uncle who was named Hillary. Like, that's just a dick move.
Hillary's.
That being said, he's a big son of a bitch, though, so he just fought people when they made fun of him. And
was it like the Dana White syndrome, where it's like, my name's Dana, I am going to have to be jacked and have a fighting company?
Well, he also he's got a massive head, so like, and he's like 6'3", so like, it's
helps.
not really a guy you want to fight.
It definitely helps. Where's this podcast going?
Anywhere. This is back to the first couple episodes. We're so far off.
We thought we did so well last week, but hey, we're working. Papa John, he's a comeback kid this week.
And he's also a go-away kid.
Not a great stretch for the old PJ.
Guys, here's a tip. If you're ever a CEO of a company or high up in any company,
or just on any phone call ever in your life, maybe
don't say the N-word.
Just any phone call.
Don't do it.
Any phone call with multiple people at all, including yourself.
Especially in a business setting. Don't do it.
Just don't even don't think it's a joke.
Even if you're just saying, funny. Hey, this guy used to get away with saying
blah
bleep.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
But you just said it, and he said it 80 years ago, and you're saying it now, and that flew back then. It does not fly now. You're fired.
I'm glad that we're speaking out against this, because I think the world needs the opinion of more straight white men. I think there's just not enough straight white men out there.
It's going away. We do need
relations.
it, because now we're letting too many other people have says, and we got to take our voices back. They're stifling our right to have a say, Alex.
You're right. I don't
Everyone else is like, well, we want to talk too. Yeah, but by you talking, you're taking away my voice.
I'm loud, and I get jealous. So, don't ever. That was a good little tip from Pat. Just any phone call situation whatsoever.
Well, I said don't say the N-word.
Don't say the N-word.
Slurs.
Don't racial slurs. Any type. Just don't say them.
In public, on conference calls. At business, don't do it.
This is a reason I don't do heroin, and this kind of might
actually. You know what I was gonna say? Don't even say it in private, because we know now Facebook is listening to us when our phones aren't even on.
That's a good point. But
this
is a little game I play with myself called why don't I do heroin? And you can try and play this with why shouldn't I say this? It's when have you had a positive? Man, heroin really turned so and so's life around. Man, I'm really glad. It's
Louis C.K. got laughs from it.
Well, but it's like shots. When have you woken up the next day man, I'm really glad I did that. There's never been a time where you're later on, you're really glad I used that word.
See, no, you
really
can't,
glad
you can't
I
use
used
shots
that word.
as an example. Because how many times have people gone out and done shots and they woke up to somebody so much better looking than them? They regret it. I know.
Okay, all right, valid point. But just okay, back to the heroin then. Man, I'm really glad I did that heroin, and now I'm addicted to it. And I'm selling my body and shit like this for heroin money. It's just they really don't. Nobody's ever been really glad I used the N-word when I didn't have to.
Yeah.
So just don't use it. Just don't use it. Not our word.
Don't do it.
Not our word.
Don't do it.
Not our word. Papa John is definitely a comeback kid in a bad way. Bryce Harper, a comeback kid as well, won the home run derby. Has great hair. His dad's jacked.
Brycey Harper.
All-American guy, and he's probably not going to be in Washington National election.
The most beautiful swing I've seen since Ken Griffey Jr.
Remember when he dropped out of high school?
No.
He graduated
early so that he could go to a JUCO for a year and get drafted when he was fucking
he finished
16,
high school
17
early
years old.
is what I meant. So Bryce Harper is back. That's pretty much what. But there was controversy at the home run derby. Not all his balls landed when they threw it. It's a fucking home run derby. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, shut up.
Fuck you guys. I don't care.
Everyone paid attention because it was at the end. I guarantee you the same thing happened to the other guy.
Who gives a shit? Yeah. So Bryce Harper, a comeback kid. Another comeback kid is complaining about the heat. It's getting that time, boys.
Yep, I still do it almost every day.
Well, but like everybody does it. But just it's funny. Like anywhere you go, you hear somebody like, "Man, it's a hot one out there."
Actually, I've got
it's a warm one out today, huh?
I've got a specific one for that from yesterday. I had shared some meme that was like something along the lines of, I like to sleep with it at 68 and a fan. So if I can marry someone, we're going to have to compromise and sleep with it at 68 with a fan. And my sister liked it, and my aunt, who lives up in New England, was like, oh, you guys. And I had to reply. I was like, listen, you don't get it. I was like, and this was last night, I was writing the reply to her. I go, it's 7:30 at night. It's 102 degrees outside right now with humidity. I was like, you live up in the Northeast, you don't get what it is. We stay cool when we can. So then not only that, when I'm driving home, I go, update, it's 11:02 and it's 92 degrees outside.
Jesus.
Yeah. So you don't ever get to go, oh, you guys, no, it's fucking hot all the time.
Also,
so if I want to sleep at 68 with a fan, I'm sleeping at 68 with a fan.
Also, like, half of TV was covering the major heat wave that was going on. It was like 86 in New York.
It's 86 or it's 92. It's New York.
Man, it's a real scorcher in New York.
Allow.
86.
I'll allow because they have humidity, because it's fucking just concrete. If you live somewhere in the middle of the country and it's 86, 92, fuck you. You have 2% humidity.
I was in South Carolina over the weekend, and they're a coastal city. Like, Charleston is on the coast. Like, I saw rivers, I saw water, and all that shit. And there was a humidity.
Get that ocean breeze,
but it's just
man.
like it's nowhere near Texas.
No.
Like that Texas humidity, you're ready for anything. You're ready.
You're going to be at 100% humidity for 6 months of the year.
But you're always sweating.
Yeah.
It's not where it evaporates like in the desert over in LA or Arizona like that. Like you don't feel like you're sweating. You're just like, I am just burning. But like here, you're just like, it's a sauna. Why?
All times.
Why are bugs everywhere? Stop. But yeah, so the complaining about the heat is a comeback kid. I'm not saying it's not deserved, but it's just like everywhere you go to any public area, and you're gonna hear one person at least. But
it's almost August.
It's old people. Old people like to talk about the weather, but like the older people get, it's just, whoa, it's a hot one out there, sonny. Watch out there. Make sure you drink a lot of water.
It's also one of my go-to lines, like at work when people are like, try and stay cool out there. Get the fuck out of my restaurant now.
Don't be here. Get out of here. Another comeback kid is TV shows we watched when we were growing up.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know if this applies to Robert. Robert, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Robert,
There's no way Robert watched any of
He didn't watch TV. You don't watch TV at all. All right. I'm going to ask you. It's called I'm going to name a TV show. You're going to have to tell me if you know what it is. Real World.
No clue.
You don't know what Real World is.
No, that was the only one I thought.
That was a softball. There's two softballs in this, and we don't have a lot of hope. The Real World, where it was basically like Big Brother, but like they were not stuck in the house. They could go out and do shit.
Yeah.
But they like threw like college age kids together, and like they'd fuck and fight and party.
This is what it's like when you put different people together. But then
it was like Jersey Shore, but it wasn't always at the Jersey Shore, and they weren't always as trashy as them. Like Jersey Shore is really like when they're like, well, let's not keep going places for Real World. Let's just put them in New Jersey and then like let them fight and like just get a bunch of like these people.
Every year, new city.
Yeah.
Real World Austin, Real World New York,
Real World Las
Chicago,
Vegas,
like,
Real World Australia.
And it's basically just young, stupid people put on TV, getting drunk and fighting.
It was cool. It was pretty tight. Growing up watching it, I like that. So MTV announced it's bringing the Real World back, and these are a couple other MTV ones they're bringing back. Made. Have you ever heard of this?
Never heard of it.
All right, Made is a pretty good one. Made is basically where it'd be like, I want to be a battle rapper. And you're like a white guy in like a suburban high school, like I was.
Like a 14-year-old kid.
So then they're like, what? Well, all right. And then they would get like...
We brought in Eminem to mentor you.
Yeah, this is Eminem who used to battle rap. But it wasn't usually Eminem. It was usually somebody like way less than like somebody
it was never
super
top
famous.
Tier, but it was like people you know.
It's like, okay, like, all right. Let's get this guy to go. And all right, so bro, this is what you're gonna do. And then like you'd like learn how to do it. Or, like Ladies Man, I remember was one, and it was just like, some random dude.
I want to lose 80 pounds, and it'd be like a fatty, and then it had Jillian Michaels just whipping their ass for a month.
I've always wanted to like just do like an extreme. Like I want to be a pirate. Made, I want to be a pirate. And it's like this is Blackbeard. He's like, yar, matey. Pirate Steve.
See him? Shoot them in the face.
Pirate Steve from Dodgeball teaches you how to be a pirate. And you're like, what? Where is this ever gonna apply? You just have some Somalian guy, and you just go really hold up like merchant ships. But Maid is coming back. I'm kind of looking forward to that. That was always a fun one to watch. And then Daria, you probably have not no chance.
I've heard of that one.
What?
No,
No,
you
I
haven't.
have not heard of that
Daria,
one.
That's the one I'm fucking pumped for. I love Daria.
She didn't curse, but she was like the cynical,
Just
like
dry wit.
whatever. I don't
Everything
give a
she
shit.
said was from
Everything
his point of view.
sucks. This is stupid. And
And
the
her
football
pa-
player boyfriend guy, like there was a cheerleader dating a football player, and the
They were
football player
both
wore
retards.
full pads. The football player like always was wearing full pads. It
Her
was pretty
sister
great.
was like bubbly, popular girl. Her parents were super nice. And this is Daria. Everything's
like
a
the
joke.
goth, like
I'm
I don't care
sarcastic.
about things, but I'm making fun of
But
it.
it was fucking great.
I
You know,
liked
she
it.
started out on Beavis and Butthead.
I did not know that.
Yeah, went
but
from there, and then they gave her a show.
pretty great.
Yeah.
So that's what MTV's bringing back. Like this, like rebooting shows is like that's taking over TV.
Yeah.
Like
They did it with Teen Wolf a while back.
Teen Wolf first couple seasons not too bad.
I saw a bit of like the first season.
Not
It
too
wasn't
bad.
but
And then it got really
I just
like
didn't care.
teen, like drama-y, and I was like, I'm out. Says the guy that watched all of Friday Night Lights and loves that, which was very teen drama.
Yeah, but that's football.
You're right. There's football in it, so there's lacrosse in Teen Wolf. I'm just not into lacrosse as much.
cares?
Nickelodeon though announced it's bringing back Rugrats. Have you heard of that one, Robert? You gotta have heard Rugrats.
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
To me, that sounds like the theme song of the Cleveland Show. Not sure if either of you watched
This
that.
is
The Cleveland Show.
Oh no, my name is Cleveland Brown, and I'm so glad to be.
It's not a bad
back in
Cleveland.
my
He's not even really
own
trying.
hometown. Yeah, dude, I love Cleveland.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, TV shows we watched when we were growing up. I remember they brought TRL back not too long ago. It's really bad. So
Because nobody
hopefully
watches
these are
music
better.
videos anymore.
Well, but it wasn't even music videos. It was like trending topics that they would talk about, and it's like I don't give a fuck.
I remember they tried to bring back pop-up video for a bit a couple years ago.
That's why my alternate idea, pop-up video, where it's just dog videos with facts about dogs.
Well, see, they were smart with pop-up
music
video,
videos
though,
with
they
just
just did
facts about
pop-up
dogs.
video over like Jersey Shore or Teen Mom.
Would you rather watch for pop-up video? I'm just brainstorming. Sorry, I'm ignoring you. But would you rather watch a music video with just facts about dogs that popped up that had nothing to do with the music video, or just dog videos with facts about music that popped up?
Dog videos with facts about dogs. That's what I want to watch.
Okay, so pop-up video is real. We're gonna work on that. I've got Wheezy here. I'm
Animal
gonna start.
Planet, bro. Just sell to Animal Planet.
That's what we're gonna. Let's make it. We need to make a pilot, Robert. We're gonna shoot a pilot this week. All right. We'll shoot a pilot with Wheezy, and it'll be pop-up video, and it'll just be facts about Wheezy, and that's what we'll do.
She looks homeless, but she's not.
Is adopted. Found on Craigslist.
Most dogs are adopted.
Liked to be. Well, I don't know. A lot of people like to be rescue parents.
Crazy fact, she likes belly rubs. I didn't know if you knew
Loves
that.
belly rubs. Also likes naps.
Oh, so she's a dog. Okay.
They're just dog facts.
Yeah.
Pop-up video. It's a thing. All right. Our other comeback kid is Kawhi Leonard.
Yep.
Pat added that. So he got traded. He had been bitching, didn't want to finish out the season, his contract with the Spurs. He had 1 year left on it, right?
Yep.
So he was bitching like he wanted to go join LeBron in LA. That was where everybody thought he was going to go. The Spurs were kind of hesitant about the trade. And then yesterday they were like, you know what? Would be really
you.
funny is if we sent you to Canada.
So he's a Raptor now. Traded him for DeMar DeRozan.
Traded to the fucking Raptors.
And like you gotta and Danny
Get the
Green.
fuck out! Just
Danny
get the
Green was
fuck
part of it too. So you're like, if you're Danny Green, you're like, why the fuck do I have to
I
go to
didn't
Canada?
say anything. I
love
showed
it
up.
here, guys.
I showed up and I played.
Pop, please.
Come on, man.
Don't do it, coach. And he's like, yeah, fuck you.
And they got like I would argue like the second best Raptors player in their history, maybe.
I mean, up there.
I mean, like Hakeem was a Raptor, but
But
like
that
I'm talking
doesn't
like
count.
career-wise, DeMar DeRozan has been right behind Vince Carter, I would say, for Raptor.
DeMar or
lot.
even Lowry. Lowry's been big up there, but DeMar was there like the whole career.
DeMar was
so.
kind of the leader of it.
Yeah.
I'm not
he's
saying
up
I'm not
there.
taking anything
and
away from
and
Lowry.
DeMar was pissed. Like when the rumors started breaking, he started talking shit about the Raptors on fucking Instagram. Apparently,
DeMar was?
yeah, he was
Or
fucking
Kawhi?
pissed. No, DeMar.
Because I saw something today that said Kawhi has no intention of playing. I don't know if you know what a trade is, buddy.
Yeah.
But you got traded.
Yeah,
so
they
you
have your
gotta.
rights, so you cannot play. But guess what? The year after that, they still have your rights.
You know what's probably gonna happen is he's gonna have another quote unquote knee injury that he can't play with, even though the doctor's like, yeah, we cleared him like 6 weeks ago to play. He's like, I'm not ready.
The humblest athlete that like everybody respected, and then 1 year just turned into a whiny
Remember that
little
last year?
bitch.
Last year when Russell Westbrook won the MVP, they were like, Harden is second in the MVP. They're like, well, really, it should be Kawhi, because Kawhi, he's just a selfless player. He only thinks about the team, and it's like he didn't play with the team except for like 9 games this year, and the doctor said they cleared him like 2 months before the season, and he didn't play another game. So you tell me. Tell me who likes to help the team and who doesn't.
He's what is affectionately known as a baby back bitch.
And then he bitched about fucking playing and going to L.A., and they were wanting to trade, and then they traded him, but he realized, I don't have a say in my trade, so fuck. I'm in Canada now. This sucks. Better get used to loonies and toonies, motherfucker.
Yeah, so also, fuck you, San Antonio. You piece of shit. DeMar Rosen ain't going to do shit for you.
Go back to your dirty river, you fucks. San Antonio's kind of a cool town, though, but like...
My favorite thing about San Antonio
fuck San Antonio,
is Charles Barkley just calling San Antonio
women fat.
Man, those San Antonio women are terrible.
But then when he had to backtrack when he finally ate a churro for the first time, he's like, I get it now. Ladies, I'm sorry. Them churros is good.
So Kawhi Leonard's back, and then Pat, what was your last one?
Oh, just Houston dominance over L.A. Just not only did Springer and Bregman and Springer, I got to say it the correct order, go back-to-back Jackson in the All-Star game, they did it off of a Dodgers pitcher.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
L.A.,
they did.
yeah, I feel like that was just their way of going, hey, I feel like you forgot that we fucked you up last year in the World Series. Here's just a little halfway point reminder. We're not going anywhere.
Flashback.
You can have Machado all you want. Go fuck yourself.
Man, yeah, that'd be awesome to get Machado and just didn't win that division. But they'll probably still win the division.
What if Manny Machado pulled a Kawhi Leonard? It's like, oh, I'm hurt. Fuck you guys. I don't want to play here.
That would be pretty great, but he hasn't done it to Baltimore yet. And although they gave him a shot, who knows? Maybe he just hates. I would probably play though if I went to a
contender.
Just finished out of the World Series, got second place, and I would probably play still. Let's do. Let me tell you about Blue Apron first.
Woo.
And then we will do a Mount Rushmore of French things. So let me get right to it. Blue Apron, everybody. It is the leading meal kit delivery service in the U.S. of A. While many people know what they do, there's also many that don't know about the types of meals you're going to get when you order Blue Apron. You're not just having burgers for dinner. You're going to be making short rib burgers with a hoppy cheddar sauce on pretzel buns. You're also going to be preparing seared steaks with mashed potatoes, green beans, and crispy shallots, all in under 45 minutes and without having to make a trip to the grocery store. They offer 3 different meal plans: a 2-person plan, a family plan, and a wine plan. You can pick which one you want and get involved with Blue Apron. All right, this is the time of the week. It is Mount Rushmore season, gang. Now, for those of you that don't know, Mount Rushmore season is basically the time of year where there's not a lot going on in sports. Baseball is pretty much the only thing, except for off-season soccer. We're a big soccer podcast, so we cover that. And what happens on sports radio is a lot of times they don't have anything to talk about. And especially in the city of Houston, before the Astros were good, when they were really bad, there was really nothing to talk about. And it's like Wimbledon, and you're like, nope, it's that bad time of the year. And when it's just baseball, and people don't know how to talk about baseball a lot of times. And when they don't, they just get into debates. That's kind of like the whole ESPN embrace debate culture, where it's, well, let's start this argument: who's better, LeBron or MJ? And then it starts the who's on your Mount Rushmore of point guards, of quarterbacks, and that's just like it's a whole day of sports radio. So we're gonna do a Mount Rushmore of like a stupid sports story and turn it into shit every single week. This week, France won the World Cup, so
Sacre bleu,
and bonjour, bon appétit,
Grey
Poupon, yes, les incompétents. Le Tour de France.
I'm just trying to remember anything they said during the Super Troopers 2 commercial, and I can't. Oh, eau de toilette.
The tableau vivant. So, France won the World Cup, and I didn't really know. Like, I was like All-Star or something. I tried to think of that. My brain really wasn't working. So I was like, you know what? I thought last week's was really fun because it was vague. It was vague where you had the opportunity to answer shit. And I thought that seemed fun. So let's try to just do a Mount Rushmore of French things. Now, we get the veto system, as we understand that. We've had some vetoes this Mount Rushmore season where 2 of the 3 of us override the other. Mm-hmm. And French things is a pretty loose term. So basically, French things means
keep each other in check.
If it has French in the name, it doesn't necessarily have to be from France. If it has French in the name, if it's something loosely tied into France, now we got the power of vetoes that we can use. And a shout out to Big Brother. We just used that term. But I don't think we're gonna have too many vetoes. If we do, I don't think there are gonna be. Or if we have any, I don't think there'll be many at all. So last week's Mount Rushmore of places to get lost in, I once again won. So it's me 2, Robert 1 in Mount Rushmore season. This is our 4th.
I didn't come in last. This
Pat
is the first
Pat did
poll or anything we've done in forever where I didn't come in last place. I felt like it was one of my weakest ones, but Lost in Your Dreams, I think, is what tanked Robert.
And it was weird. You were in front when I checked the one time this weekend, and then I checked it again like Sunday night, and I was back. So I was like, I was happy people finally came to their senses.
You mean, and then you activated your burner accounts?
I was on a plane actually when this poll ended, so there's no possible way.
Robert was busy, so he didn't have time to activate his burners.
I think that's probably more like what it was. So yeah, I won. I had 50%, Pat had 30%, and Robert had 20%, which means our Mount Rushmore standings.
Which means I beat you by 1 vote.
I am at 2 wins. Robert is at 1 win, and Pat is at none. And this week's draft order is going to go Robert, Pat, me. It's a snake draft, so then I get the 4th pick, and we come back that way. Robert, well, let me get some appropriate music since we're talking about France. Escargot. So just any, like, it can be foods. It can pretty much just be anything.
Chocolat.
Is that French?
Chocolat is how you say chocolate in French.
Oh, is that really?
I ain't got to 7 in French.
Do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's a twat.
Twat. I learned that from my grandmother, but I was really young and I could never remember past 7, so I gave up.
All right, let's go with our Mount Rushmore of French things. Robert, first pick in the draft. Hold on, let me make my little chart. You go first.
All right, I'm going to go with the pretty obvious one. I'm going to go French fries.
Yep, solid.
That's my number 1.
It's strong.
French fries.
So, in the prep sheet I read, it has to have French in the title.
That counts. We allow that.
So, pretty much all of mine have French in the title. That was difficult to come up with.
French was on my. French fries were on mine as well.
Okay, so mine, and this is the one I told you before. You guys might contest, but I don't think you can because it's just so solid. What's more French than surrendering?
Ah, damn it! I had that.
Yep. It was just so. It was looking me in the face. I had to go with it.
That's pretty French. That was actually pretty high up on my list too. That was my 4th thing. I was hoping to snag that last. Damn it. Okay. I think I'm gonna take like. All right. I'm gonna take maybe it's an American one, but it's a French one as well, and it's a gift from France. So I feel like this has to be allowed. I'm gonna go with the old Lady Liberty.
Yep.
The Statue of Liberty. That's fair game, right, guys?
Oh, 100% fair game.
So. Okay. Yeah. And then I'm gonna swing back around. I'm gonna go Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower. That's a pretty French thing. It's a pretty French thing. I'm gonna go monument, not the sex position though. Sex position is still on the table. Anybody wants to go Eiffel Tower sex position? Robert, are you aware of what the Eiffel Tower is?
I am not.
Okay.
Google it.
Just Google it. You'll learn. All right. Back to you, Pat.
All right. I'm gonna go with Larry Bird.
What?
But I can do it because his nickname was the Hick from French Lick. Boom! Lawyered. The Hick from French Lick.
Robert, what do we do with this?
It's got French in the title.
It has French in the title. I think he has to accept.
Boom. The Hick from... Somehow, even when I'm going France, sneaking in an American icon. Larry Bird. But the Hick from French Lick.
I have never even heard him referred to by that nickname.
What?
Before.
Dude, that's like his most famous nickname. The Hick from French Lick.
No,
that or the Great White Hope. But yeah, that's where he's from French Lick, Indiana. I don't know how you've never heard that nickname.
Okay. Well, I didn't have that on my list.
Learn something every day.
I guess so. And I'm gonna allow it because this is just a weird one. All right. Robert, what you got? You got 2 right here.
So I'm gonna go with French kissing.
Damn!
Oh, that was a good one.
Damn, I was hoping to sneak that next.
And I'm also gonna go with the French bulldog.
Damn it!
Another God.
That's a strong list.
Great one.
First strong list, Robert. Robert showed up this week.
Yeah, he did.
Robert showed up this week for sure. All right, Pat, back to you, buddy.
All right. Man,
you got number 3 and 5 of my list. Fuck.
I think I'm gonna have to go with. I mean, French toast.
That's a good one.
It's too consistent. It's good. Gotta go French toast.
That's a really good
Don't
one.
wanna wait,
That was also pretty high up on mine. That leaves me two pretty solid ones. Now this one I think should be allowed. It is a French word, and it is the ménage à trois, the threesome.
That's great. That was good.
That's a pretty solid one. And then I'm also gonna go with the French Quarter in New Orleans. It's a fun little place to have a drink. I spend a little bit too much money there, but it's always a good time going to the French Quarter in New Orleans. So those are my 4. Back to you, Pat.
All right. Kind of torn here, but you know what? I think I'm gonna have to go with Forget Paris, classic Billy Crystal movie. Are we allowing that?
If you've got Paris, that's
okay. Okay, just there was a hesitation there, so I wasn't sure if you were thinking about debating it. But
Bill Murray movie?
No, Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal.
Do you not know Forget Paris?
No.
He's an NBA referee, travels to Paris, falls in love with a girl. Classic up and down love story.
Nope. Didn't
oh
ever see
man,
it.
I got some homework for you.
I'll
bring. I have that
heard of
DVD. You got homework.
Forget
Paris.
Forget Paris. Okay. Well, Robert, wrap it up, buddy.
I'm gonna go with Pardon My French.
Good one. Of course, I almost thought about that. I didn't even put that on my list though, because I would never say that because I don't censor myself.
Pardon my
But
French.
that's
Most
perfect for
of the
Robert.
time, it's not even French. Most of the time, it's not even French.
It's perfect for Robert though. Well, if he would cuss, he would say "Pardon my French."
That's true. All right, so let's go through. Let's recap our list since we've done it. This is the Mount Rushmore of French things. Robert, on his list. Robert, your list is pretty strong. I'm not gonna lie. Robert has French fries, French kissing, French bulldogs, and pardon my French. That term. Pat has surrendering. That's a solid first pick. He has Larry Bird, a.k.a. the Hick from French Lick, French Toast, and Forget Paris, the Billy Crystal movie. I have the Statue of Liberty, the Eiffel Tower, the Ménage à Trois, a.k.a. the threesome, and the French Quarter in New Orleans. Did anybody have any? You want to go over the honorable mentions?
French bread.
French bread was good.
I had French Maid.
Ooh, French Maid. Andre the Giant from France. Born in France. A lot of people don't know that.
French dip sandwich.
French dip.
I had French Letters, which turns out to be condoms.
Yeah, I didn't pick that though, just because it's obscure. I read about that too.
The Eiffel Tower, the sex position, as mentioned previously.
The French Foreign Legion.
Napoleon.
The French and Indian War.
Ooh,
I almost went with that just because that's where Mel Gibson learned how to fight for his character in The Patriot.
Okay, would this one have been allowed? I was wondering this one. Didn't think it was worth risking, but Paris Hilton.
Oh, definitely.
That would have played.
Yeah,
because it's a French name.
Yeah,
Paris, name of the capital of France. Because if
know.
you could play the city Paris, if you could pick Paris,
I would have allowed it. Maybe he wouldn't. Maybe a coin flip, but I think that would have been fair game.
I don't think I would have allowed it.
What up, Frenchie's Chicken?
And it's got French in it.
It says French in it, right? French onion soup. Fondue is French. French mustard, the Tour de France.
French Stewart.
The French Open.
Do you know who French Stewart is?
I do not.
He's the weird guy from Third Rock from the Sun.
Don't know. Still, I know Third Rock from the Sun. How about this? This is an old insult that I don't know if you guys have heard, Robert. This was back in my day. They used to say this on the playground. I see London. I see France. I can see your underpants.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. Croissants, baguettes, the crepes.
French Stewart.
Okay, I know who that is. I've seen him. I've seen him before in other things. Asking America for help was one. The Catacombs of France. The Arc de Triomphe. It's like that big arc they got there. The Louvre.
Oh, that's
the
Louvre.
Didn't even think about that one.
I love how none of us actually went with like famous French shit. Like
Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, Pepe Le Pew would have been fucking
also,
great.
Ratatouille, the movie, not the food. Didn't
Yeah.
know it's a food until I was doing some research for this. What about the Pont des Arts, which is that that bridge, the bridge with the locks on it, the love lock.
Ooh,
bridge
the
they've
Fleur de
got.
Lis we could have gone with.
That's
the
pretty,
little fucking
sort of pretty French
symbol
French
thing.
enough. But yeah, so the catacombs are pretty tight, but like I don't. That's a lot of like history, so fuck that shit. So yeah, that was our Mount Rushmore.
That was a good one.
French
I like
things.
that.
I think all of us really had some good ones. Honestly,
that's a strong list.
Pat, I don't want to knock on yours, but I think that the Larry Bird pick, just in its entirety, as well as the Forget Paris pick, are really going to come back to bite you in the
No,
ass.
dude, Larry Bird's great.
'Cause mine are like, mine are pretty American.
See, as long as our audience has seen Forget Paris. You just don't know.
I don't think a lot of. Have you seen Forget Paris? I know Robert hasn't. So I would say 66% of this podcast hasn't.
Robert spent half of his life outside and he hasn't seen the fucking sun, so I don't think he counts.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Robert's the front runner for this one right now.
No,
I think he's.
strong.
I think Robert's the favorite. I would say you're the favorite to lose.
Nope. The Hick from French Lick. It's a great name.
I'm gonna vote for me, but I think Robert's list is strong, and I'm trying to be. I'm
walking
trying to
in
be
here
unbiased.
today, I thought I was gonna dominate this, but you guys put together some strong ass lists too.
And that's just like because a lot of the lists we had were like when they're movies, it's tough to pick. Like we all are kind of picking from the same pool. I like when it's the like places
Vague,
to get lost, where
shit.
it's like we get to really see like what Robert thinks, what Pat thinks of France. You know,
Not a lot.
not highly,
No.
not highly. When none of us picked the soccer team, so like fuck
No.
them. We weren't rooting for them. We wanted Croatia to win. But is Croatia like Russia though, right? Croatia's pretty much Russia.
I don't fucking know.
They were ex-Soviet.
Okay, I
Right.
learned the
Or
geography
Yugoslavia?
just enough over there to write it on the map to pass my little fucking tests in
Right,
junior
fair
high, high
enough,
school.
fair enough.
And then I deleted that information because I don't need to know it.
I'm an American. I'm not in France.
They need to know
not-
our
I'm not in
geography. We
Europe.
don't need to know theirs.
That's fair. I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. As long as we got the most guns, why should it matter? All right. Let me tell you guys about our Pass the Gravy merch store, guys. I'm wearing our new Pass the Gravy.
It is very nice.
It's the Office shirt. It's just called Office shirt. PassTheGravyMerch.com. It's pretty great, modeled after one of my favorite TV shows logo, and you can get it now. It's just $20, ladies. It's $19 for you. You can get the Sun shirt, our new summer shirt. That's pretty awesome. I just got one of those in. My girlfriend Emma designed it. It's pretty dope. It's got the sun. He's got PTG podcast on his grill right there. The MVP finally shirt. Yeah, Pat's got a picture. He's got one of the stickers of it. The MVP finally shirt. Our boy James Harden just got his first MVP. Fucking finally, he's very deserving of it. Go rep him with the new PTG MVP finally t-shirt. The Pastros shirt. The Houston Pastros have never not won the World Series since we've had that shirt being printed. So facts only. And go get that. You get the logo shirt, last year's summer shirt. Any of the shirts you want to go get, go check it out. Check out the selection. PassTheGravyMerch.com. If you get it, let us know you got it. Lee Fincher was out there motor scootering. I believe he snapped me out in his PTG or Pastros, or not Pastros. He was Pastronaut shirt. Yeah, that was pretty dope. I just got a Pastronaut shirt as well. It was like one of the few ones I didn't own already. And so Lee Fincher, shout out to you, and thanks for repping PTG out in the world, buddy. Let us know if you guys got it. We'll retweet you. We'll give you a shout out and everything. If you guys are repping us, we're gonna rep you, and we really make like $4 max, like per shirt. I think we make like $3 a shirt actually, and so we don't pocket much of it, and we just want you guys to wear our shit. Like we're trying to give you cheap, affordable, good quality shirts, and that's what we're doing. And
so you look fly out there.
You can get flags. I said flags with an L. Flags are available as well. You can fly those bad boys. It's gonna be pretty dope, and you can get your Christmas sweaters. You want to get your Christmas shopping out of the way early. You know, we don't have any sales, but you can still buy it.
Yeah, there's no out-of-season discount, guys.
Just go check it out, PassTheGravyMerch.com. And while you're at it, give us a follow on the Twitter. I am at Alex J. Middleton. Pat's at Not Pat Dion. Robert is at Robert Barbosa03. The podcast is at Pass the Gravy Pod. And like us on the Facebook page. We need more likes. And if you haven't given us that 5-star review on iTunes
what are you waiting
or
for?
Spotify, wherever the fuck you're listening, this is your homework right now, guys. If you're listening to this, I want you to, whatever podcast medium you're listening on, I want you to go and give it a 5-star review. And I know on Spotify you have to, I think it's Spotify you have to have however many characters. If it's like 15 characters, just say gravy, 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 gravy. Roast us. Say something. Screenshot me that, and we'll give everybody that screenshots us them reviewing us shout outs next week. If you want to do that, just it doesn't matter what podcast medium you're on. Go screenshot that you've 5-starred PTG and given us a review in your Gucci. And if you've already done it and you wanted to get a shout out next week, just go screenshot us the review you already did. Okay, so that was our Mount Rushmore. And I believe it's PassTheGravyMerch.com is where I was telling you guys that. And if you're doing your Amazon shopping, go to the Amazon banner at PassTheGravyPod.com. We've got Not Cool. I'm going to go run and piss you guys. Y'all think you can handle this while I go do that?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
Also trying to figure out.
Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool. Not cool,
man.
Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool. Not cool. Not cool.
Off topic, real quick, Robert. Do you know how to 5-star us on Spotify? Because I just liked it.
I have no idea.
Oh,
I've never used
yeah.
Spotify before.
Yeah, I was like, I should probably do this since he talks about it every week. And I realized I'm shitty at this. All right, not cool. I guess I'll start us off. Last 2 nights, I can't fall asleep. So I've fallen asleep at like 3:45 in the morning all times. So I've been borderline mentally challenged the last 2 days because you can't say the R word, even though this sounds worse. Just can't think all day because I'm exhausted. So I've just been slamming Dr. Peppers trying to stay awake.
I've had the opposite problem where I'm waking up really early.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because like you want to get out of bed, but you don't. But you're like, I'm up, so I might as well be productive. Right, Alex?
Totally. What are we talking about?
But yeah, that's really all I got. Just not being able to fall asleep and then being tired of shit all the next day.
My not cool is Bryce Harper.
Fuck you.
Ooh.
Bryce Harper. I think he's overrated.
Why? I mean, he's batting .214. Besides his batting average this year, like what?
He's not done anything consistently like earn that like that.
Would you not say he's like maybe like who's the face of baseball? Is it him or Mike Trout?
Trout is. But here's the thing. Okay, and also because
I think more people recognize Bryce Harper than Mike Trout, though.
More people do. Because Bryce Harper, his whole story is...
Bryce Harper does commercials. Trout doesn't do commercials.
Okay, if you're saying better player, I'm going to go Mike Trout. If you're saying who's the face of baseball, I think Bryce Harper's the face of baseball.
Yeah, but also he's having a rough year anyway. But like my brother watches every one of his games because he's got MLB packages. And he says a lot of what's happening. Like he's drilling the ball in a lot of cases, and it's going right at people a lot too. But also, he's just been hitting a fucking terrible strike zone all year. Like a dude of his,
they're talking about him like that
status,
last night.
But dude, he's just getting 2 inches off the plate called strikes against him fucking consistently. Like I don't know if he did something to piss off all major league umpires, but they're just shitting on Harper this year.
The Athletic did a story. They pulled like 240 players, and like they asked several questions. One of them, who's the most overrated player? The top result was Bryce Harper. So even the players think he's overrated.
I mean, he's having a terrible year, but also he is an insanely cocky asshole.
Was it just this year or in general?
Just in general.
I mean, in general, yeah, that makes sense.
Also,
but he's an asshole. He pisses off a lot of people. So I'm
also, the second part of my not cool is Alex's comments on the morning show a few days ago.
What did I say on the morning show?
You said, and I'm going to quote you here because I wrote it down.
Damn it.
You're in trouble.
He really has taken that transcribing things to heart, huh?
So you were saying that Trout and Harper are the most known players in the league, and you mentioned Altuve, and you said about Altuve that he doesn't have the clout that the other two guys have. So I had to like really disagree because I don't like Bryce Harper, so I had to really disagree about the Harper comment. I understand Trout, but like I don't understand how you can say that Altuve isn't as well known as Trout and Harper when Altuve got the most votes out of anybody for the All-Star game.
I hate to do it, but I agree with Alex.
I would
nationwide.
Just who like if anybody
fans
in the world like 1 out of 10 people on the street, I guarantee you, if you ask them, do you know who Mike Trout is, and you showed them a picture of Mike Trout and Bryce Harper and then Jose Altuve. Despite, I'm not saying Altuve is not a better player or any of that. I'm not taking away from his playing ability. I'm saying recognizability. And just like his face out in the public, even though he is getting more of a public persona now. But I think a lot of that's very local here. I think a lot of that is local. He's the MVP. I get it. But I think that Bryce Harper and Mike Trout are more well known than Jose Altuve.
See, that's the thing. I think Bryce Harper is the most well known player in Major League Baseball.
I think Mike Trout is a better player than Bryce Harper for sure. But I think that Jose Altuve is behind both of those two in like most known players.
It's hard for this because baseball does such a terrible job of what's the word I'm looking for? Promoting its players. Mm-hmm. Like promoting its stars. They do the worst job of any league. But like even though because like Trout should be over ads everywhere. Like you should see him everything. And I get like he hates doing interviews and ads like that, so he's not. But like shit, in your own programming, you don't even promote the stars of your league. But Altuve, like. We see it more because we're in the Houston market, so we're constantly hit in the face by Altuve. But nationwide, I gotta agree with Alex. Trout and Harper get more love nationally. So they're
on Sports Center, do you watch Sports Center?
I don't.
You don't watch? Okay,
oh, dude,
it's Trout and Harper. Or anytime they fart or sneeze or do anything, it's always on SportsCenter. Altuve, awesome. They always go to the Astros and they speak kindly of the Astros, but they don't always say.
All you ever see is just that
Jose
3 for 4 stat line, Altuve. You don't really see anything he does.
Just him crushing it in the stats. And this is what feeds into
everyone thinking there's a Houston bias that the media hates us.
There's not. There's not.
There's not. But like it's stuff like that where like
they cover the bigger media markets.
We get like a 2-second fucking clip on SportsCenter. And that's all.
But also look at when Kansas City won the World Series. How much coverage did Kansas City get? They didn't get as much coverage either.
They didn't.
And it's just when you're not New York,
but
LA,
but it's stupid because
all those big.
So
I'm not saying it's
you have
right.
to be one
I'm
of
not
the top
saying
two.
it's justified.
Because like we're the 4th biggest market in the fucking country. We're not a small market. But unless you're New York or
LA, Chicago,
but that's what's
Houston,
ridiculous.
Dallas.
Boston gets a lot more run. Like Dallas gets a lot of run because they have the cow. It's.
Well, that's radio markets. I don't know about media markets. I guess Boston's probably a bigger media market.
Well, because they have storied franchises and shit like that. So Houston gets shit on because we haven't won a lot.
Right, but you're defending champs.
We are.
You know, they
give
deserve,
it a couple years and
they deserve their due.
Altuve is going to win 6 MVPs in a row. He's the fucking man. Actually, that's not true, though. Trout's definitely going to win it this year.
I thought your comments thing was about the hot dog debate, and I'm not going to even get into that right now because Twitter was lit afire.
Yeah.
With tweets this morning.
Tell us what happened on the plane, though.
On the plane, yeah, I got a not cool for you guys, and this is going to get me all riled up again. It's going to be all riled up again.
Fuck you.
And I don't know if Emma's even in there. Emma, if you want to do this, you can do this. But the plane back from so we flew to we went to Charleston this weekend, and our flight back was not a direct flight. We went to DFW airport. We had to connect. So like, I saved up a shit and I shit in the Dallas airport just to say I shit in Dallas.
Yeah,
because fuck
you shit on Dallas.
All right, shit on Dallas. So we went to the DFW airport, and that was our connecting flight. Then we had to connect to Houston. Everything was going great. Flight was on time. We had an hour. We went to Papacitos. We ate there. It was $40, a little pricey, but it's airport food. We had margaritas, we had nachos, and all that shit. So we were full. We were happy. We were ready to be home. We were just a 45-minute flight away from being home into H-Town. And we get on the plane. Everything's great. You know, my girlfriend, my brother, and I were flying on the same flight. We had flights in 3 rows, but in rows behind each other. So Emma was in front, my brother was in the row behind her, and I was in the row behind him. Not a problem at all. I get in there. I'm in the window seat. First thing that I noticed is the dude next to me takes his shoes off, and I was like,
"Not cool, bro.
Not cool." It didn't smell or anything. It didn't. To his credit, it didn't smell. But just that's like
don't do that.
The principle. You don't take your shoes off on a flight. If I was in a small room with somebody, I wouldn't take my shoes off.
Just because it's 45 minutes, you can fucking wait.
You can just chill. It's not like we're going cross country. This isn't a flight to LA or anything. But that wasn't even I was like, oh, this is not ideal. But you know what? I'm gonna throw my headphones in. I'm almost home. I'm fine with this. It's not like I can deal with this. I had the new Suffers album on. I listened to that almost 3 times all the way through this weekend. It's a fantastic album. I would recommend checking it out. Cam from the lead singer of the Suffers followed me on Twitter, not to brag, but yeah, I was like, I was a little starstruck on Twitter this weekend. So shout out to Cam Franklin. And
maybe he was starstruck that you followed him. She. Sorry. I don't know anything about that.
Well, they're fantastic. I would recommend checking them out on your way home, maybe. So we get on the plane, and there's a lot of younger people on the plane, and I'm talking middle school looking, high school looking. And I was like, okay, they're getting ready. They look like they're coming back for some sort of trip. You know what? Hey, everybody, it's a public transportation place. That's what happens. You run into people. That's how it works. But then the plane takes off, and what happens? When a plane takes off, you fucking chill. You just you get out your book, or maybe you pull out your computer, your iPad, your phone, your iPod. You listen to some music, but you find whatever you're gonna do.
Sit quietly
for that. You don't conversate between the other 20 people that you came with in the group. So anyways, and my mom, one time when I came home, my mom was doing this, and oh my God, and this, and my mom, and there was this one bitch in particular, and I'm calling her a bitch, and she was probably 16. Probably 16.
So she probably was a bitch.
Still being bitchy. But like, she wouldn't shut the fuck up, and she was talking about how one time she was out until 3 a.m. and how your friends are good when you can go home to your house at 3 a.m. And like, my mom came to the living room and was like, "You guys, it's 3 a.m." And I was like, "You have said 3 a.m. 75 times. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up." And like, they just wouldn't stop. Like, it was like one group of like 4 or 5 of them in particular. But
you
they
should
were
have
like
just looked
talking,
her dead in the eyes. And be like, one time I did coke till 5 a.m.
What really helped me was my brother was in the seat like diagonally in front of me, and so he just kept like looking back at me, and we would do that like silent thing where you open your eyes really like,
are these fuckers serious?
You believe this shit? Fucking this shit, really? Are you fucking serious? And like, we didn't say a word, but we just kind of like look at each other like and shake our head and just we would just SMH, and then like kind of just like, all right, he gets it too. Fuck that. And like that was like all I had, and I was just like, fuck these people. I had music in my head. I had my headphones in. I was like, you know what? It's not as loud, but you could still like, and there were like eight rows in front of me. Shouldn't have been happening. I don't mind if you have a conversation. I'm not saying you got to be completely quiet, but just, you don't want to be shouting 3 rows down to somebody else.
Yeah, I shouldn't be able to hear you 8 rows back with my headphones in.
So we didn't even get to, because like, props to whatever this guy's phone was, because the speakers on it are phenomenal. I don't know if he got the iPhone X or whatever it was, but like part of the way through the flight, it's a 45-minute flight, bar in mind. We are like not a movie flight. You don't need a movie for this flight. Dude pulls out his phone and has Shrek on it. I'm a huge fan of Shrek. I love that. Like Shrek's great movie. It's not about Shrek. It's about the fact that he didn't have headphones or anything, and he holds the phone up over his head, so not him he can't watch it. The people behind him can watch it. Like the 2 rows behind him and the loud bitch can fucking watch it, and like just holds up there, no headphones in. So this speaker's cranked up. You can fucking hear Shrek. I can hear Shrek 8 rows back. I was like, I don't need to fucking hear Shrek.
I would have flagged a flight
I don't
attendant.
fucking need to Shrek. But they were all like young kids, and I was like, I'm not, Alex, don't say anything. I was so proud of myself. I was like, I didn't say anything. I just hated these kids and talked a lot of shit about them with my girlfriend and with my brother, because we were all annoyed after we got off the flight. I waited. I was like, fuck those kids. Fuck that.
No, dude, as soon as the Shrek came out, I would have alerted flight attendant and be like, you need to tell them to stop. Because
you
kids
can
that
tell,
age
like,
don't know how to deal with
other
confrontation.
people were kind of looking around too, like, this is...
Kids that age don't know how to deal with confrontation. So you tell them to stop, they're just gonna feel really bad and sit quietly in their seats.
But then you're the guy that when one of them pulls out their phone because they're kids and they understand this culture we're in, then I'm the asshole that yelled at a 14-year-old. I'm not gonna do that.
No, that's why you don't yell at them. You flag the flight attendant. Go, can you tell them to stop? They're disturbing us. I paid for this flight too.
I just thought, Alex, if I just blare my music as loud as I possibly can, I can hear it a little bit.
That's what you should have done.
I can hear it. No, in my headphones.
Back at them.
Because I was annoyed by it, but me going back at them only makes everybody around me's day worse. Doing that only makes it twice as bad
made it great
for the
if
people
you tapped
trying.
everybody on the shoulder around you, like, guys, let's get them as a group, and had everybody just put their phones
But
on full
realistically,
blast.
you're not going to get a mutiny like that on your hands when it's a church group of kids that just love God.
You might.
I think God...
You could have had at least you, your brother, and
I don't
Emma.
want to say God doesn't love you, but God loves you less because you're an asshole on a plane, I think.
If you're not socially aware that you're being an asshole...
I believe in the words of Job 37:69. It was, thou shalt not be loud as fuck on a plane and interrupt thou around them. I'm not sure. Robert. You need to check up on that. But I think that's the verse.
Not cool. Parenting these days. How do you not fucking tell your kids don't be an asshole?
So my thing was like, I don't think they had parents with them, which is why they were as obnoxious as possible. I think they had like the church leaders, and they were like the cool.
By the way, fuck them.
But they were probably like the cool hip guys, like, we're crazy. God's hip and kooky.
But how have you not taught your kids enough in life to not be the asshole that's super loud on a plane? Like, come on. Parent your kids so they're not the loud asshole on planes. That should be a bumper sticker.
I kept thinking back, Alex, you might have been this guy one day. You might have been this kid when you were that age. You could have been this kid when you were that age. You probably pissed a bunch of people off, too.
There was only one time ever on a plane that I was noticeable.
I know it wasn't me on a plane.
But that I was noticeable to everyone on a plane. It was like that, but it was like if you ever fly into Boston, sometimes they put you over in Newark, and then you have like a 45-minute flight like that from Newark to Boston.
Little puddle jumper.
Where you feel every bit of turbulence. The plane's going up and down the whole time.
Maybe it's got a propeller on it.
And I farted one time. It wasn't loud, but god damn it stank that entire plane up. And it started with me shaking with laughter.
Central air.
because I'm shaking with fucking laughter. Then my brother in the row next to me, he starts laughing. Then the row behind us, 5 minutes later, the entire plane is laughing because a 14-year-old kid farted and it stank up the entire fucking... But at least then it was something that everybody enjoyed.
That's true. That's true.
I was never fucking pissing off everybody. Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody was pissed off that it smelled like shit on the plane now. But when I turned around, everybody was laughing.
In college, okay, on campus, fellas, do you ever encounter this guy that's just walking around with his phone like as loud as can go? It's usually a dude listening to whatever, and it's always like loud rap music or dubstep. Those are it's never like country music somebody's listening to. It's never Metallica somebody's listening to. It's dubstep or rap, and they're just walking like to class in the middle of the quad with like their music blaring as loud as possible. Did y'all ever see this in school?
Never with music.
In my brother's school, people bring portable Bluetooth speakers with them.
Why?
God.
Why the fuck do you think anybody else gives a shit? Man, that guy's got
headphones.
That guy's got a dope playlist, dude. Is that what they expect?
I guess so.
But I remember in school having people do that. And you're like, dude, just fucking throw headphones on. Headphones are cheap. You can buy $4 headphones and not get you don't have to get the nice headphones. Just get the cheap headphones. You plug in, they work.
I've never. The only time I've seen that is people that just walk around and talk on speakerphone in public.
I throw in my headphones sometimes when I don't even need to have. I'm not listening to anything. I just don't want to talk to people.
I can't tell you how many times in college my phone was dead by the time I was leaving campus. But you better believe on the bus back to my apartment,
don't talk to me. Is
the
what
headphones
I'm saying.
were in.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't like any of you people.
Anytime I go to the mall, I throw headphones in because I don't want anybody. Hey, sir. I just walk past them and you don't feel bad. And I'm usually listening to stuff, but sometimes I'm not. And it's just I don't want you to bother me. I want to have the headphones in. If I'm looking at stuff and I know it's close quarters, I want to have the headphones in case somebody asks me to move or something. But I'm not gonna respond if I don't. No, I wouldn't like to learn more about this foot wash that you're trying to sell at this fucking thing. Nope, not. I'm walking past you.
So, I don't even know how we got on the subject yesterday. My coworker was what if you were gay, something like that, and I was literally nothing in my life would change because I'd still be single because I wouldn't go outside because I still fucking hate everybody. I think if I was gay, the only thing that would change in my life is
you'd have sex with men.
Well, the porn would change. Because I'm still not going... I'm not having sex with anybody because I'm fucking not going out in public. I still fucking despise everybody.
That's a good point.
So theoretically, yes, but porn. In my day-to-day, as my life stands right now, porn would be the only thing that would change.
It really would.
Because I fucking hate people and I don't want to talk to anybody. You guys and my coworkers and my brother and sister are about the only people I talk to. And
Dude, if you were gay, that'd really help the diversity of the podcast, though. So maybe work on that.
Guys, I'm making the choice to be gay because it's a choice.
No, just be bi. You don't know, or whatever. What is it? Pansexual, which is really bisexual.
Dude, I'm gonna fuck that ladle. That's pansexual.
I want to fuck things that aren't real. Okay, so weird. Throw it on this wormhole. When we talk about those, in high school, every dude kind of went down these wormholes. 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yep.
Mr. Happy Hands.
Mm-hmm.
The horse.
Glass ass.
Is that what that is?
Well, no. Glass ass was the guy that shoved the mason jar up his ass.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah. And not great. Cake farts?
Cake farts.
Cake farts. So my girlfriend and her sister were on the trip with us, and my brother and I had adjoining rooms with them. And it was funny because we were just fucking around waiting to go out, and we were just talking about YouTube wormholes and stuff. And that came up, and they're like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, you guys don't know what Mr. Happy Hands is?" And they looked it up. Like, "Oh my god, this is what boys look up." And I was like, "Yeah." It's
you want to see worse ones?
That's what middle school everybody looked up.
Look up the BME Pain Olympics.
Was that? No.
Those were worse ones of
mutilate themselves.
A dude spraying fucking just shit that lights on fire on his dick and then lighting it and jacking it while
I wouldn't do that.
That was that was a dude in my dorm that showed that to me. The BME Pain Olympics were fucked up.
Well, we got in that, and then they laughed so hard at cake farts, and it was we were watching really gross videos of it, and I'm sorry, ladies, if you're listening to this, we were trying to work on female listenership, and
Lemon Party,
Casey and Ann, I'm sorry.
Meatspin.com.
You're probably gonna look up cake farts and hate us. Shout out to Casey though. Casey at Casey Lou baby. She's expecting. So congrats on the expectingness.
We get a Branch Gravidian on the way.
Congrats on the sex. We got a baby Branch Gravidian. So
way to get it.
Way to go, gal. And we're all for it. And we'll get you a little PTG onesie. at some point. We don't sell those, but we'll find a way to make them.
Now, will that one have to say "pass the baby gravy"?
It might. It might. We'll get you one that does say it, and then one that doesn't, so you can wear it around you can have it around the pants.
Because I don't know if you want your child.
You don't. You
wearing
probably
something
don't.
that says
Maybe
baby
that's
gravy.
that's what we wear at home. That's what we wear just at home with us. You know, that's the spit up one. That's our backup. Our go-to
Product of baby gravy.
But yeah, congrats to Casey and her husband. That was our not cool. So we're moving on now to answers. Now, young fellas, when I was a youngster, I remember being in school. I believe it was 3rd grade with Miss Winters was her name, and it was Far Elementary in Atlanta, Georgia, Lawrenceville, Georgia, to be specific. Georgia, that is, not Savannah, Georgia. But
did you guys eat peaches?
I did have peaches at Georgia. Although Georgia is better at producing peanuts than it is peaches. Fun fact. Yeah,
okay.
Right there. I mean, they do have peaches as well, and it's the peach state. So.
Georgia peaches.
Anyway. But I remember in Miss Winter's 3rd grade class, I heard the term, there's no such thing as a stupid question.
Just stupid people.
And I raised my hand. She didn't say that, though, but I raised my hand.
Because she was
and
stupid.
I was like, good, because I thought this question might seem stupid. And I asked my question, and everybody just laughed at me. I don't think it was answered. I don't remember.
Was it
if
where do
answered.
babies come from?
It wasn't that. It was some math question because I was horrible at math, and I don't know. I'm still horrible at math. But I remember being like, man, I thought there was no such thing as a stupid question. And I remember one day when I'm a teacher or I'm in charge or whatever, I am not going to make there anything as a stupid question. I'm going to answer any question anybody could ever ask me. And that is what I'm doing here with Pass the Gravy. Now it's my turn to call the shots. So you guys send us the questions, answers at passthegravypod.com. You can tweet them to us at PassTheGravyPod on the Twitter. I'm at Alex J. Middleton. Pat's at not Pat Dion. Robert is at Robert Barbosa 03. Hashtag answers or PTG answers. You can also use it leave your answers questions on our PTG Facebook page. Pass the Gravy. Just search that on Facebook, Pass the Gravy Podcast, and just comment. And if you comment your answers questions, we'll get those as well. But without further ado, this is our answer segment.
Well, if you just answer the question, why don't you just answer the question? Be honest, no big deal. Yeah, answer the question. Don't change the subject, just answer the fucking question.
Answer the fucking question. So our first answers question comes from our boy Brandon Whitehead. What's happening, Brandon? At Brando Whitehead on the Twitter. And Brandon says, children's Tylenol, a cure for women with baby fever?
If you take enough of them.
Ooh, yeah, because
you can't have baby fever if you're dead.
Yeah.
OD on children's Tylenol?
Or no, that'd be like old school birth.
The fever's
because
gone.
you die, the mother dies, but the child is born.
No, baby fever is when you want to have a kid.
No, I know, but like old school mothers used to just die when they gave birth, right? Like because technology.
Oh, so you're saying that's what baby fever should be? Is just dying?
Well, no,
in
I'm
childbirth?
saying like you could still possibly have the baby even if you were dead. Baby could survive.
But that's not baby fever.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to a weird spot.
Did you eat today, or are you just drinking?
I haven't eaten much. I'm not drunk either. I've only had 3 beers. But no, I know what baby fever is though. But yeah, because it's a cure for fever, is what he's.
Yeah, no, I get
referring
it,
to
but
for.
I'm going literal. Yeah, if you take enough of it.
Yeah, I've been taking baby aspirin because it reduces my risk of a heart attack. And I've also got a job at Enterprise Rent-A-Car because they let you be your own boss. Step Brothers.
So if you overdose,
it could.
that'll cure that baby fever
I'm
right
gonna
up.
say we're not gonna rule it out. We're definitely not gonna rule out that it could possibly be a cure for baby fever. So,
You
yeah,
were expecting a lighthearted answer, and I went dark.
it was, but that's what I love about you, Pat.
And it's suicide.
That's what I love
But
about
do it
you.
with baby aspirin or children's Tylenol.
that's
So
the
that you
way.
have to take 200 pills.
Yeah, you have to buy like 48 bottles. Like, sir, what are you doing? I have a lot of children. Shut up. I have a lot of children, and they're always sick.
I'm George Foreman's assistant.
It's for a client. All right. That was a good question, Brandon. At Brando Whitehead. Shout out. Emily D writes in. She emailed in, and she said, who are all these people teasing poor woodchucks with all these woodchuck chucking contracts that they can't even complete? I'm guessing she's referring to the old saying, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I don't ever recall there being a contractual obligation.
Yeah, there's
by
no
the
contractual
woodchuck.
obligation.
How,
They can't. That was the whole thing. They can't even chuck wood.
They can't chuck wood.
It was hypothetical.
Really?
Yeah.
So they can't chuck. Is that a fact?
It says if they could chuck wood.
If they could. But can
But I'm guessing they can't chuck wood.
Can wood chuck?
Because that would negate the entire question.
Well, yeah, that really...
Because that would be how much wood could a woodchuck chuck because a woodchuck can chuck wood.
tongue twisters. I don't know if it, I don't know. Do woodchucks chuck wood? I don't
No.
know. Woodchucks do not. What?
Yeah.
What? What?
So we're not teasing them. We're just posting questions. You know what it was? That's the original answers question.
They do, wait. They do not typically eat wood, but they possibly could. They could possibly chuck wood.
So they could.
They could.
See, that's where the question comes from. It's the
So
original
could a woodchuck
question.
could chuck wood, but
Yeah.
will the woodchuck chuck the wood? If it can, could it?
And
we know
how
the
much
answer
could
to
it?
could the woodchuck chuck the wood.
Yeah.
We don't know would the woodchuck chuck the wood.
Exactly. Chuck.
I'm just trying to keep finding ways to say woodchuck chuck wood over.
So I would say that nobody's teasing them. We're just asking questions here.
Now, I mean, like Emily, I'd like you to get back to us if you know anything. Like, is there some sort of underground like woodchuck slavery thing we're doing here, where it's like we're signing these woodchucks up to unreasonable contracts that they're never going to be able to meet the demands for? Because if you're privy to that, like we'd love to blow the top off of this. We're whistleblowers here at Pass the Gravy Podcast. If you have any hot tips. Anything in the biz that might make some headlines, give us a little insight, and we're going to blow the lid off of this bad boy.
Also,
so if you got an inside info on any of like these woodchuck contracts you're discussing, let us know.
Yeah, or if you have some contracts that aren't being fulfilled, let me know. I'll go buy some beavers because I feel like, that's the free market right there.
I always thought that
if you're buying woodchucks, you're just going to the wrong supply.
Really, beavers? You want to fuck up some wood?
You can get beavers. Beavers and termites.
Beaver. Oh, termites too.
Yeah.
Termites are probably cheaper too. You catch some termites.
Yeah, but you can't pet a termite. And
You
I think it'd be cool to have a beaver buddy.
Termites might not bite you. Beavers might bite you still.
Worth it. Dude, imagine how cool it would be to have a beaver.
Oh, I'm not saying it wouldn't be. But would they angry
You throw
beavers?
him a stick and he eats it.
You would have two, Daggert and Norbert.
No, I'd name him differently.
Did you ever watch Angry Beavers?
No, I did.
You
But
did?
I wouldn't name him after the Angry Beavers. It's more of a cat dog guy myself.
I liked Cat Dog as well. The cat part, a little turn off.
Yeah.
I was more of a dog guy.
Did you like how the cat was a dick, though?
Like cats, you mean?
Exactly.
Duh. What was your favorite Nickelodeon show?
Rugrats. Hands down. Don't even have to think about it. Rugrats.
Oh, see, I kind of had to think about it. Because I remember as a kid, the worst thing ever was when my parents would, cut us off from Snick. Like, if I did something bad, they wouldn't let us watch Snick, which was Are You Afraid of the Dark? All that, and then I can't remember.
All that was dope.
Kenan and Kel was on.
Kel.
Kenan and Kel was one of the best.
The Amanda Show?
The Amanda Show was also a part of Snick. It was Saturday Night Nick.
What was the show where they got slimed?
That was Figure It Out. Figure It Out. They had Double Dare.
Double Dare was dope.
But I thought my favorite was cartoon on Nickelodeon was Doug. I liked Doug.
Doug was dope.
And then I think All That or Are You Afraid of the Dark? No, Kenan and Kel Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Just me. Rugrats was the shit, dude. It was great.
I loved Rugrats, though.
Looking for Satchmo, and then Tommy always pulling the screwdriver out of his diaper like we're going to fucking break out of this shit.
Right.
Or
Chucky Finster.
I still will always remember when they all got naked.
Tommy,
and
Chucky,
all the
Phil,
boys
Lil, and Susie.
looked at Lil, and Tommy goes, Lil, can I ask you something? Because he was like, bro, where's your dick?
And that's when we learned.
Boys have penises, girls have vaginas.
But they didn't delve into whether or not the other genders existed, so I'd like to see how the reboot of Rugrats does
the other genders still have to have a penis or a vagina.
Allegedly, Pat. Who are you to say?
Maybe they have a stapler. We don't know.
We don't know. I'm not. Who are we to judge? We don't know. We're just
So
here
yeah,
to learn.
we didn't answer that question, but
why
I don't
people,
know how.
I don't think people are teasing woodchucks with these woodchucking contracts. I would say if you are privy to any of this insider info with these alleged contracts, let us know, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Any animal contracts that you're aware of, let us know. We want to get
because animals don't need to sign the contracts.
No,
I don't even know how they sign. They have no thumbs. So
monkeys do.
Monkeys do for sure. That's true. But anyway, I would say there's nobody teasing the woodchucks that I know of.
I would say what?
But woodchuck, you go beaver. Beaver over woodchuck. That's our answer.
I'll tell you, it's
sorry,
people
we're not
that
very
aren't
helpful.
serious about chucking that wood. That's who it is.
I want to go with a woodchuck that wants to chuck wood. That's what I want to go with. Matthew Miller writes in or emails in and it says, if you put a handle on a hat, is it a little? As you may have already known, guys, anything on this podcast, we stand firmly by the belief that anything you put a handle on immediately becomes a ladle. Now, whether or not it is a good ladle or not, now that's up for debate. Now, not all things are good ladles when you put a handle on it, but it is a ladle nonetheless. If you put a handle on a hat, is it a little? It's like a hat version of a ladle. I like the name.
Yeah.
Is it a ladle? Yes, it is a ladle. A
No,
hat,
it's a
I would
ladle.
argue, is already a ladle. Because you take the hat off, the bill of the hat, the handle.
See, the funny
you hold
thing
it
is,
upside down. You got yourself a ladle. Now it's not going to hold water because it's got the holes in
we're
it.
both wearing baseball style hats. When I was thinking that, I was thinking like a hat where it's got the bucket and then the
Ooh, a
brim
top
all
hat.
the way around the
Yeah.
outside. Not a top hat, but like I guess more of like a Heisenberg hat.
Yeah, I can see
Something
that.
like that. For some reason, that's the first one that popped into my head, and then just a ladle stuck in the side of it. Or not
Ooh,
a ladle,
is
but
it a
handle.
little? Well, I'll allow it. I'll allow that, Matt.
Oh, it's definitely
Matthew
a
Miller.
ladle.
You know, that's an astute observation.
Funny thing is, I was literally about to say astute
You
as
were
you said it.
literally. There you go. There you go. I like your. I'm glad that people are bringing the ladle questions back. If you guys have any more ladle questions, shoot them our way. I'm a big ladle guy myself. Big ladle guy myself, and I miss those references. So if you want to bring those back, don't hesitate. I believe this is your boy, Pat. Tyler Thomason, at Tyler Thomason 27. He writes in and says, when butterflies are in love, do they feel humans in their stomach? As in, like, when we get nervous.
Here's my question. No,
I have butterflies in my stomach.
Do butterflies feel love? They go through a metamorphosis. They don't.
Butterflies live. Well, I mean, a metamorphosis. I would like metamorphosis.
Do
seems
butterflies
super
fuck?
trippy? They have to. How do you make other butterflies?
That's what I was just thinking in my head. Like I was starting to say that they don't fuck, and I was like, wait a minute, they still have to fuck to create more.
Duh.
Man,
because they gotta make cocoons.
What's smaller than a butterfly, though?
A caterpillar.
I mean, no, they're roughly the same size. It's just one has wings and one doesn't.
Yeah. So the wings make you a little bit bigger, buddy.
Damn, I actually read this earlier this week, and I still never came up with an answer for it. I don't know. Do they feel humans in their stomach?
They could get butterflies in their stomach too.
Maybe they feel gnats.
Oh, ooh.
Wait.
I would argue that if we're going smaller butterflies that aren't butterflies, moths.
No, moths are still roughly the same size as a butterfly. Actually, my buddy sent me a picture of a moth outside of his house the other night. You guys can't see this, but it was literally as big as my two hands put together. It was like one of the largest moths in North America.
Okay, well, like not that big moths.
But most moths are the size of a fucking butterfly.
But they got the wings kind of like a butterfly. That's what I'm trying to look for.
But they're the size of butterflies.
Not all of them. I've seen a lot of small moths.
Okay, I've also seen a lot of small butterflies. So that's what I'm saying. You got to go to something consistently small. I'm going to go with they feel gnats.
What about firefly?
Ooh, fireflies.
Firefly. Or lightning bugs. What do we call them here?
They're fireflies.
They're fireflies.
Yeah.
What do you think, Robert? What do you think? If butterflies are in love, do they have humans in their stomach? Humans.
What about bees?
It's stingy.
They're too big.
It's too stingy.
They're too big to fit in the stomach.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely not humans. I think maybe.
But dragonflies.
Dragonflies are like bigger, or
Are
like
they?
around the same. I mean, they're long and like. Yeah, dragonflies are roughly the same size. You can't do that. That's why I said gnats. It's just gnats are just little
but
fucking,
gnats, like, fuck you, gnat. You start with a G. You get a G in your
they
name.
suck.
It's just I don't want. But that's not like when you have butterflies in your stomach. It's like inspirational a little bit. You're like, oh,
Not always. Sometimes it's a nervous.
But a lot of times it's like a beautiful nervousness because it's something that you're about to have to go do in front of. Because a butterfly is supposed to be pretty, Like it's got to be something. That's why I was saying moth.
Maybe you
it's
just
brown,
have to give
but
a
like,
public speech and you hate public speaking, and so you have butterflies in your stomach because you're just fucking nervous and you hate it.
I don't know. I'm trying to spin it.
Fruit flies.
Fruit flies maybe.
Ooh.
I like fruit flies. What about just flies in general? Horse flies.
No, horse flies are way too big. Fit in a butterfly stomach.
Like I didn't realize Pat was such an expert on things that are bigger than butterflies.
Okay, but I'm just saying butterflies are about, yay big generally. A horsefly can be that fucking big, man.
I'm trying.
Great for listening with me just making sizes with my hand.
I like fire. Yeah, but hey, that's why we have the video version of the podcast.
I like fireflies.
PodCast.com. Check
or
out
maybe
video
lightning
podcasts.
bugs, depending on where you're listening to us.
I like fireflies. I think we can agree on fireflies. Robert, you agree?
I'm gonna still go gnat.
I'll go fruit fly.
All right, we
have no consensus.
We all agree then.
Well, you've all caught.
Can we all agree that Tyler's a fucking idiot and this is a stupid question?
I like that. I think it made us debate a lot.
I know. I just got to talk shit to my friends.
It definitely made us debate. Robert,
actually, good question.
This is a good question for Robert because I bet you've done this. I've done this for sure. Did you ever catch fireflies in a jar when you were a kid? Robert?
I never have.
No. Just because I've always lived in a suburb and they weren't there.
Well, I lived in Atlanta when I did it, so that was totally different.
Atlanta,
Georgia. But it was like Atlanta, so it wasn't like there was.
You ever go back there and visit?
I've never been. My parents are actually there right now on their way back from South Carolina.
You think they're going to one of the black strip clubs in Atlanta? I hear they're famous for them.
The old ones by Georgia Tech, the Buckhead, those were fucking lit, man. I never went to them, but I only heard stories.
You don't even go inside and you hear clapping?
It's pretty crazy. That clapping's on your dick, by the way. Hey, so shout out at Tyler Thomason27. Thanks for the question, buddy. Keep them coming. Our buddy Nicholas in Iowa. I think that's 2-3 weeks maybe in a row that he's written into us, and he's. I think I know where he got the idea for this question, and he says stairs, just domesticated hills. I remember. I feel like a month or so back we had was it candles or just domesticated fires. And I think, stairs, are they just domesticated hills? Because it's a hill that we made it a little bit easier for us to climb.
I'm going to go with no.
Yeah,
what about escalators?
You don't have to have the traction.
Escalator, I think,
escalators
would be
are
closer,
like speedy hills.
But stairs, when I think of stairs, I think of just stairs in your house. Or most the hills are bigger than that, man.
I would have said stairs. Quicker ladders?
See, there you go.
That might be, if you think about it, stairs are quicker ladders, and I would say escalators are the quickest ladders.
That's true.
And every time I think of escalators, I fucking always say them wrong. Every time I think of escalators, I always think of that Mitch Hedberg joke, where you can't ever be mad that an escalator's not working.
Or it can never break down.
Last year, I was at the Galleria Mall, and this lady was bitching that they had temporarily out of service thing, and I was like, it shouldn't say temporarily out of service. It should say, sorry, temporarily stairs. And this old lady lost her shit at that joke. And I was like, that wasn't my joke. That was a Mitch Hedberg joke.
Sorry for the convenience.
She laughed so hard at that, just little part of the joke. And I was like, okay. Old Mitchie's still bringing joy to everybody. Mitch Hedberg and Bill Hicks are probably my favorite. They're probably my two favorite comedians of all time.
I was actually telling somebody yesterday that my favorite comedian right now is Bill Burr.
I said Bill Hicks.
Oh, I thought you said Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. Those are my top three.
Bill Burr is my favorite just because he's fucking angry.
I get to see him next Thursday. Next Thursday, he's going to be in town at Revention Music Center. Nice. I am stoked to see him.
But I'm going to go no. There's just not
they're faster ladders. Faster/easier ladders.
For it to be a hill, it's got to be like a mall escalator.
Okay, but what if you're talking those the
Rocky Steps? Well, there you go. That's an easier hill.
Right, that is for sure. Some could be. I mean, it's possible. That's why I don't want to completely rule it out.
Hills have got to be big. Hills can't be, 2 stories.
I'm going to go with no. You can't roll down, have fun.
You can roll downstairs. You can roll downstairs, though. Oh, you can have a horrible time rolling down a hill, though. Have you seen that cheese chasing competition where they're going down that really steep hill?
But they're doing it on purpose. They're having fun.
Jack and Jill went up a hill and they didn't have a great time.
Nobody falls down the stairs and goes, "Whoa, can't wait to do that one again."
You know that.
I don't. There are some.
Maybe you didn't want a child and then you later didn't have a child. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying we agree with that, but I'm just saying some people might feel that way. We don't. Not us here, but some people might. Just saying. That's a new segment called "Just Saying," where we say really horrible things and then just preface it. But we're just saying. I don't think that. Somebody might.
It's like the Louis C.K. of course, but maybe. I just in my gut they're not. I can't say yes. I don't know what it is. Can't put my finger.
I really am stuck on easier ladders. That's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah,
I'm going to say that's what stairs are.
They're not because they're easier ladders.
They're easier ladders, and escalators are the easiest ladders. Shout out to Mitch Hedberg. Sorry for the convenience.
Sweet Prince, R.I.P.
All right. Our final question of the week comes from Skylar Lester, who I think he gave us the real brain buster last week, right? And now, what did he was talking about?
I don't know. I deleted it.
Something about Boy Named Sue is what you told him he should read. No, because you were saying he should name his son Mo. That wasn't even the question.
He did.
That wasn't even the question. He got back and he said he tried to get his girlfriend to do that, but she said no. So maybe like Skylar, I don't want to I hope if she's listening, tell her or put in the headphones. Just we'll wait. Just like, hey, maybe she's not for you, buddy. Just maybe she's not for you. Like, we'll go, but if you do, you go Mohammed.
Yeah, like if she doesn't want to use a throwaway joke to ruin your child's life, do you really
just
want to go stay with her?
What kind of wife is that? I'm just kidding. Don't really break up with your girlfriend for that. Cherish her, especially if she listens to the podcast. And if she doesn't, then definitely make her listen to the podcast. Although that might make her leave. Or maybe I don't know. Gauge it, just gauge her interest. Okay,
should have been smart enough to not just go. We should name him Mo. Maybe she should just be like, Maurice is a nice name.
Or Mohammed, most popular name in the world. I don't know if you ever saw Superbad.
Read a fucking book.
It's Mohammed McLovin.
You just never bring up that it would be Mo Lester. You just always say, I love the name Maurice. It's a great name.
Some people call me Mo.
Yeah,
I'm a big Steve Miller Band fan.
Yeah, that's all it is. I'm a fan of Steve Miller, and I like Maurice.
Excuse me. Yeah.
And you just constantly call your kid Mo, and it's too late.
So yeah, I don't even remember what his question was. Now we just got sidetracked on that part of it.
We got sidetracked on a sidetrack.
On his last name, really, is what we got sidetracked on because that's how small-brained we are. But Skylar Lester at OMG, it's Skylar, and that's Skylar with an E instead of an A. He says, when Thanos snapped his fingers and half of the universe. Okay, I'm starting over. Excuse me. When Thanos snapped his fingers and half of the universe's life.
Spoiler alert, guys.
Oh yeah, I guess.
For anyone that hasn't seen,
I read the book.
It's too late
I read
now.
the book, but I didn't see the movie.
It's been long enough. You should have seen Infinity War by now. Go fuck yourself.
Infinity War spoiler alert. When Thanos snaps his fingers and half of the universe's life disappears, do the unborn babies disappear too when their moms do, or do they just fall out of the air confused? So at the end of it, everybody just vaporizes into like pixels, right?
Yeah.
We already said spoiler alert, so it's fair game. It's fair game to talk about this stuff.
Away.
I'm sorry, Mr. Tony Stark. Yeah. That's all. That's the meme everybody's been doing.
I thought a lot about this, and Thanos was.
That's a good point, though, because
he was doing it for a reason to help actually bring balance in the universe. So I don't think he's just gonna make fetuses fall out of the air.
But you have the other half of the universe that's got fetuses probably too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like anybody that died,
it's just non-discriminatory fetus getting rid of.
And also, at what stage does it become alive?
It's after the second trimester, right?
So before that, then just fetuses don't count.
I think that's what it is.
See, it plays with a couple things. Thanos,
whatever our country's abortion laws in, obviously they abided by that.
Thanos was a psychopath, but he wasn't really a dick.
So as long as you were if you were in your first trimester, I'm sorry.
Like he was doing it for a reason.
Great.
So
if you're in the second or third, then your baby's. Where does the baby fall? Does it just fall out of thin air?
Oh, just plop hit the ground is what I assumed.
Probably not going to do very well.
But that's one thing. Then it would die. Then that would end up being over half the universe. So I think until they're born, it wouldn't count. So that just dies with
baby
the mother.
Doesn't count. Baby just doesn't count then.
Yeah. Because like I said, Thanos was.
So you're saying. He wasn't a dick. So you're saying that's not a life then. That's not a life until it's been born. Or then is that what you're saying?
You got to think about it the other way too. Maybe women are just pregnant and they could be about to bust any minute.
Oh, so pregnant. But then, so while you're pregnant, the baby's life doesn't matter. But then out
of nowhere, the snap of the fingers, she doesn't die, but the baby's just all of a sudden gone. And if that happens, you got to think. All of a sudden, there's space. That stomach's going to deflate just a little bit, just really quickly.
Yeah.
And also, because everything pixelated and floated away, would the pixels just float out of her hooter?
Ooh, good question. We're asking the hard-hitting questions.
Not hooter, cooter.
All the hard-hitting questions.
The only way you just lost the baby is all of a sudden pixels start floating out of your cooch.
I I don't have an answer for this. I didn't see the movies. I would like to think that
I'm gonna go with no. The unborn babies wouldn't, because he had a plan, and it wasn't a dickish plan to just be like kill him.
I mean, he was the bad guy though, wasn't he?
But he was doing it for reasons that he thought was just. He's not gonna just kill a mother.
But if
and
you're
leave
the
a fucking
bad guy,
fetus to
I
float
feel like
there.
you're still gonna have bad guy things that happen. Though.
Okay, well, think about it this way.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
The bad guy in Black Panther, a lot of people came away
African American Panther.
But you know, he had a good point. He went about it wrong, but he had a good point. Technically, it's the same thing with Thanos. He went about it wrong, but he had a point that at the rate of growth, the universe wasn't sustainable. He just went about it wrong. Same thing with Black Panther. He had good points. He was just a dick and decided to murder people about it.
Well, that's because he'd already peaked on at East Dillon High School when he played for Coach Taylor, and that's why Vince had to go on, and he had to be a bad guy.
I don't know which one you're talking about because I never saw Friday Night Lights.
That was the bad guy was Michael B. Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Vince in Friday Night Lights. That was where you got to start.
Spoiler alert, bro. I might still watch that someday.
Well, it's like been over for 10 years, so you probably get over it. Yeah, so I'm. You know what? I'm gonna say if it's in the first trimester, then the baby evaporates as well. If not, then that baby's there.
I'm
because
just
that
say,
is when the baby's
regardless,
considered
as long as
live,
they're still with the mother,
like our government states.
That it might count as a life too, but he's not going to leave floating fetuses to just drop.
Robert, your thoughts?
No, I don't think they drop out of the air.
Okay.
I think they all go.
See, the comic book guys here, we know what we're talking about.
No, the only two that actually watched the movie. I read the book though. Excuse me. I would say that I have more in-depth knowledge.
You still haven't watched it?
No, I don't watch any of it. I haven't watched Black Panther. I haven't watched any of that stuff.
Fuck this guy.
What was I haven't watched. What was the first one? Infinity Wars.
Infinity Wars was the one we were just talking about.
What was the other one? Age of Ultron.
Well, the first one was just called the Avengers. The first Avengers meetup.
And then Age of Ultron. I haven't watched any of the Avengers.
And Ultron. I'm not even.
I like Spider-Man. I saw Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. That was pretty dope.
Those aren't part of this.
Yeah, but those were like that was probably.
You've never even seen Iron Man?
No.
Dude, fuck you.
It's just I'm not a superhero guy. I don't
so
mind
good,
other people
though.
that are into superheroes. It's just not my thing. I haven't seen Captain America. I haven't seen any of the Supermans. I didn't see I saw the Batmans. I watched all the Batmans.
That's DC. It's different.
Oh well, I didn't see Ant-Man. I saw part of Deadpool.
Dude, finish Deadpool. It's so good. Just watch the fucking movie, man. It's on demand. Like when we leave, fucking watch Deadpool.
It's Big Brother time, bro. We got Past Grade Bro tonight, dude.
I mean, what time does it come on?
7.
Okay, well, you will have more than enough time to watch Deadpool.
I'll try. I'm not gonna make any promises though. I'll try. But all right, we are at Past Grade Pod. I'm at Alex J Middleton on Twitter. Pat's at not Pat Dion. Robert is at Robert Barbosa 03. Guys, fucking please do your homework and just screenshot us that you reviewed us the 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you're listening to us on. Actually, let us at Past Grade Pod. Let us know what you're listening to us on, and give us those 5-star reviews. Screenshot it, send it to us. I will give everybody that does that a shout out. I promise. And you know what? I will give one of everybody that does it. I'll give one of the lucky ones of you. We're gonna do a draw on next week, and I will Venmo one of you guys $5. I'll Venmo one of you. I will DM you, and I will be like, "What's your Venmo?" I'll give you $5.
Like a drawing. I like that idea.
So like everybody do it, and then we'll pick one of you guys because I'm Venmoing people money now, and I can't do that all the time. So I'm gonna bribe you to go and review us 5 stars on all of your mediums, and you have to leave an actual review like with words, not just the 5 stars. Be like, "This is the greatest podcast in the history of the world," and all that, and. I guess that's it. So Big Brother, Past Grade Bro, check that out. That's going to be, we got episodes on Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday this week. Check that out at Past Grade Bro on the Twitter. At Past Grade Pod is us. You guys got anything else? No? Nothing? All right. Good. Until next week, guys, you guys go have a great week. Go out there and pass the gravy. Bitches! Pew-pew!
Last night I let the party get the best of me. Waking up in the morning with 2 hoes laying next to me. Plus I heard an officer